automatically just became cold.
Plot armor.
Cold Veronica too.
Plot armor.
All right, we got a show start, y'all.
Okay.
Y'all going in with this more. Back in 20 years old. What y'all talking about, man?
Damn near 30, right?
They done had the ghettos make those remakes at least like 5 times.
20, yeah, 20.
All right. Chicago Black Delegation Podcast is a show dedicated to the reshaping and reclaiming of black culture in America. The intention of this podcast is to improve the conditions of blacks in America by way of platforming different ideas. At no point will the views shared on this podcast, be it the show's title, conversation headers, individuals' expressed ideas, or otherwise should be interpreted as an attack on other groups, but rather as a means to a greater end for blacks in America. Views shared by the individuals does not represent the views shared by the Chicago Black Delegation, its staff, or other guests unless specified. All right. Yeah. So everybody, welcome to the Chicago Black Delegation Podcast. I'm your host, HT, Higher Thinking, and this is another call-in show for you and all that stuff. We got a pretty decent lineup for y'all to come in and react with us with. As y'all can see, there's a number on the bottom of the screen for y'all to call in and express your disagreements, your kind words, and otherwise. Growth on the channel has been pretty great. Not gonna lie to you. Unfortunately, we had to take a break last week due to some unfortunate circumstances. It is what it is. But we try to show up and show out every Sunday, and we try to show up and show out every Sunday for y'all, and provide with y'all with some decent commentary and some very I would say unique perspectives, and I will also argue perspectives that's aimed to push the culture forward. You feel me? But otherwise, again, we got some real growth on the channel. Thanks to everybody for subscribing. We literally got like 100 subscribers in like 1 month, so that's like super dope. Our little Tiffany Hanyard video did pretty good. We finna hit 10,000 views real shortly on that. So that's what's up. But otherwise, hopefully we can catch lightning in a bottle twice. So if my co-host can introduce himself, start with you on my left.
Yo, it's Kanji here, ready to bring y'all the laughs and the information.
Yeah, this is real.
King Savage.
What?
Yeah,
Oh God!
Hey Marcus, man.
What the hell did that happen?
You gotta get the little thing.
Video, it says King Savage.
You gotta get it.
Make sure the microphone's adjusted, y'all.
You gotta get the little clap hand thing. 100 subscribers, man. You gotta get the little. You gotta. What happened to that, man?
I can figure something out. Hold on.
Yeah, man. You gotta get that next time, man. The crowd clapping sound, man.
You're right, man.
Isn't that amazing?
Every little bit of success.
Will you tell him we need a Don DeMarco? I can keep telling him that. That's an important sound.
When you said using his ad lib, Don DeMarco. Hey, man, you gotta pay for that.
Which one? Cream Savage? What is this again?
King Savage. Pay right, bitch.
They got to point at you, bro.
Like this? Is this better? Take my shit off.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, it's right here.
Just try to bring it in just slightly.
Like this?
Yeah, you can rotate it like that.
All right.
Gotta say pause.
Can you hear me now? It's a little too close to my face. What's up? All right.
Make sure y'all projecting a little bit too. Let me just do something real quick. We got Dolo in the chat monitoring our audio. So yeah, if there's audio concerns, y'all kind of let us know. You know what I'm saying, so we can kind of get this thing as my damn microphone. Yeah. So everybody in the audio, in the chat, if y'all can kind of let us know if the audio is doing good. We're trying to keep things consistent and everything, going well. So like I said, we got some videos we're gonna react to. Some really important things, especially for that Black America needs to be especially wary of. Starting in Chicago. So here we have pretty much the turnout of hold on, what's going on here? Okay. So here we have a video where they kind of just came out. They just found the turnout of of deciding on if Chicagoans will be able to vote on making on continuing Chicago to be a sanctuary city. So if anybody that doesn't understand what a Chicago what a sanctuary city is, back during when what's that man's name?
Daley?
No, not Daley. One before him.
It was the black man.
Harold Washington?
Harold Washington, yeah, my bad. Yeah, during Harold Washington's his mayorship, he had signed in a plan, right, a sanctuary city plan or asylum city plan for whenever there's I guess you would say turmoil going on in other parts of the world and stuff like that. Chicago, he signed Chicago in to be able to essentially take in migrants that are again seeking asylum from deplorable conditions in their own countries, which is definitely a good thing for its time. I would say Chicago was in a pretty decent economic standing then, and it wasn't. I would say it probably wasn't. Maybe y'all can correct me in the comments if y'all want to, but I don't think there was any like extreme circumstances back then that would kind of persuade people to believe this was a bad idea. I believe when he got this signed over, it went over relatively smoothly. I would say. But anyway, as I said, they had just made the decision to keep Chicago as a sanctuary city. So let's look at some of the crowd reactions here, right?
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
My name is Claudia Marchan. I'm the Executive Director of Northern Illinois Justice for Our Neighbors, an immigrant justice organization that provides free immigration legal services to all immigrants who need them throughout Chicago and Northern Illinois. I'm also here with ICER. We also fought really hard with our leaders and our volunteers to make Chicago a sanctuary city and Illinois a welcoming state. I am an immigrant myself. I came to the United States at the age of 4, was undocumented for 26 years, and documented for 9 years, total of 35 years. As you can imagine, 35 years is a long time to live in the shadows. This is why sanctuary city status is so important to my family, as it kept us together for an uncertain 35 years. Sanctuary city status provides protections for our current clients at Justice for Our Neighbors. It protects them from racial profiling, from being surveilled and tracked due to their immigration status. Sanctuary status has meant that our clients do not have to be afraid of reporting crime to the police because of their immigration status. Sanctuary city status has meant that undocumented individuals, documented individuals, all immigrants, and BIPOC communities are able to walk around our city feeling safe and protected. I urge the alders representing their communities here today to be honest about what being a sanctuary city really means for Chicago. It means that we do not and will not accept for BIPOC communities and immigrant communities to be mistreated because of our skin color. I urge alders once again to do the right thing today and protect the communities that they represent, because challenging the ordinance will affect all communities and make Illinois unsafe for all.
Why don't you own commercial real estate? Yes, you. Why don't you?
Thank you very much for your comments. Our next speaker is.
Yeah, they didn't show the one black dude that was out here like booing his ass off. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But yeah, you saw the crowd reaction. You know what I mean? Everybody seemed to be really happy that that Chicagoans will no longer be able to vote on Chicago being a sanctuary city. Any thoughts regarding that?
I think they just had the people that were for it, and the people that's really for it, I guess they don't understand the gravity of the situation. So I believe they're ignorant to the situation. So the people that's leading them, they're misleading them, and they're not understanding the gravity of the situation, because we don't have the money to take care of these people. Y'all keep saying take it from where? Like, where are we going to keep taking it from? Chicago already has the third, highest taxes next to New York and California. So you know what I'm saying? Taxing us more is not going to help us. It's just going to put more people to be more broke. And then you're going to be mad, like, why the taxes keep going up? Because we keep doing this dumbass shit. And then they about to take that $95 million and give it to them. But they've been fucking up millions of dollars, and all this money is just getting lost in in transactions. And nobody's telling you really where the money is going. But the tax people, we're going to still have to keep paying this shit. So I believe I believe they voted on something they didn't understand the true gravity of the situation. And they was being misled by these people. Yeah,
I would definitely say we definitely need to come up with some sort of an auditing process or keep these logs of the spending in Chicago, because I don't want to give it away yet, but there's definitely some things going on where we're taking funds from one thing, right, and then putting it towards the development of these migrant establishments. Anybody else have some thoughts?
I agree 100%. Like I always say, if you take a small group of people and confine them to little bitty spaces and take resources and money, you're going to always have violence. She spoke about violence, and I think that if people start making less money and upon putting migrants into neighborhoods like this and taking all of our resources, our kids can't go to the parks or get after school programs. It's going to create more violence. People are going to get more and more frustrated. This is already becoming a very frustrating thing. So imagine it, a couple of years down the line. And also, as blacks now, we're starting to be more aware and more awakened to reparations. Now you're giving money to people that come to this country, and literally blacks have literally built this country on our backs, and we're in some very, very messed up situations. And you taking money and giving to these migrants coming to this city, and the people is not asking for this. It's those that feel like they have some sort of connection or an allegiance to migrants. You know what I mean? And all of us, especially as blacks, we don't have an allegiance to migrants. We're trying to fix our situation, and now you're going to just keep piling stuff on top of an already bad situation. It's just like putting gasoline on the fire.
Yeah, I mean, I think I gotta agree with that. I mean,
yeah, for real.
Pretty much how I stand fully. I'll give a little extra thoughts after the rest of this video. Let me just find the next timestamp. Oh, this is actually right after this. This is gonna trip y'all up, man.
George Blakemore.
Anti-immigrant, illegal, call ICE, send them all back, waiting across the Rio Grande and don't obey our immigration and naturalization laws. And watch my minutes, because you should have it up here and over here, because they steal my minutes. We are the only people in America that was enslaved in America. We're not immigrants. We're not migrants. We belong. Listen! We are the only people enslaved in America. We didn't come over waiting and looking for something. And when we came over, we did work. But it was free labor that built this country. Black labor that built this country. White power. And to see another group come over here, it's disgraceful. It is un-American. And these rules that you have, the rules, who made these rules? When did the ultimate vote for these rules? When did the people have time to participate in making these rules? And one of you all came over to me, Mr. Blakemore, we got little children. What about the black children in the ghetto? We got to make a future for them. These others will move them out. Move us out, and they come in to compete with jobs, goods, and contracted service. A historian called Anderson said that they have a negative effect on the black community. Reading is fundamental. I don't have to love nobody but me. Self-preservation is the first law of nature, and these black ultimates, I urge you to vote no. Because aren't you black? Aren't you black? Don't you live back? Have you experienced the suffering that our people have gone through and still going through it? Having another group to come up in line and get in front of us. You got the right one on this mic. You got the right one, Mr. Blakemore. We got children here. Now you be respectful. I am respectful, and I'm advocating for the black children because you all trying to gentrify us out and you in for jobs, goods, contracts, and service. Who do you think I am, or who are you? Who, if they clap, I can say boo. If they clap again, I can say boo. I'm strictly advocating for black people and call ICE on them. Trump, come in here. Clean this mess up. The most corrupt city in the United States is the city of Chicago. And that's not my...
Thank you, Mr. Blakemore, for your comments.
Hey,
Our next...
We got you, man.
Boy.
Baby.
Man, he ain't playing, man.
So, what's some of the thoughts you got going on, Rob, Kanji?
Man, dude was over there spitting.
And Matt, please, the wild outfit, the painted, I don't know what the fuck he had going on there. Put that aside
He
for
got
now.
the
And
Fresh
focus
Prince.
on his
He got
words,
the Fresh
you
Prince
feel?
joint when he
Yeah,
turned
I
it
know,
inside
right?
out.
Right?
Yeah, he got the
Bro,
You definitely put this shit inside out.
right.
I
You'll
mean,
see me today.
Hey, bro, like he got a drive back like a
paintball
paintball gun, all right?
Like niggas look what outside and start bugging at him before he walked through the door.
Yeah, that man walked in the thrift store and said, "Give me something that's gonna get their attention."
Yeah, for real.
Exactly. He said, I need something. Make sure they see me.
Yeah, put some gold in there too. Make it shine a little bit. Make it shine.
I got you,
The
player.
light's
I
gonna be
got you.
all over me, baby.
All the colors you have.
Yeah, man, for real. But
I mean, he right. He 100% right. Is I'm like, where they get $95 million from?
I mean, we've been had the 95. Those are sitting funds for the COVID relief. COVID is back on the rise. You know, the new variant, like it's supposed to come out like the stomach flu. So it's been like a lot of people been getting like this stomach bug, but it's kind of like COVID. You know what I'm saying? So that's just emergency funds. So we're about to run through that emergency fund. So if this COVID do go on the rise, and like 6 other states already brought back the mask mandate, and they still thinking about possible lockdown. So he just wasted our emergency funds on the migrants. So therefore, we're gonna be crying again, talking about we need money, and it's like you misused the money. So therefore, you fucked up because you misused the money.
Wow, yeah.
Now, what would you say to that if they were to take the $95 million?
I mean, they already did.
But that's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
like,
we just
right. But what would you have the same sentiment if they took that $95 million and were like, you know what, black people, we didn't fuck y'all over enough. Here's $95 million for y'all.
the economy.
I mean,
the
it still
economy
be a
will
problem.
flourish.
I mean that 95 ain't really gonna do shit. Really, it's not.
No,
It's not. But I mean, it's gonna put money back in our communities. But the problem is, it's still here when the COVID shit do happen. It's still gonna be a problem of mismanaging
If
money.
you take the percentage of black people that's in Chicago, round up to a number, divided by the 95, people will come up with a nice big chunk of change.
No, it's not. You're not getting the direct check to your bank account. That money would go to your neighborhoods, your schools, your park districts, and programs, and also ability to like those like the CHA programs to help you pay your lights and gas, shit like that, and probably go to food stamps. It wouldn't go directly to your bank account. This would be more.
you saying if they gave it to black people like that?
Like
Like they give it.
you want reparations? I mean that's different.
No. Well, that's a completely different subject.
I mean but I'm
we'll
saying
be all
that's
day
what
with that
you're
one.
You
implying.
saying that's what they doing with the $95 million?
Yeah,
They giving it to them in that kind of way.
So yes, that's going
Right.
to give them a place of housing. That's going to give them food. Like I hate to say it, bro. Like when we was doing the pandemic, they gave us $700. These people were getting the $6,000 to $10,000 checks. I've been seeing several migrants in my neighborhood.
Yeah.
They got brand new cars.
They getting
They out here. They out here
getting a
getting
lot.
to it. They hustling. They selling drugs and they robbing. You see what I'm saying? That's what they're doing.
Yeah.
And they're buying it with our taxpayers' dollars. They wouldn't have the ability to do that if we didn't give them all this free money. Like when they shut down the world, everybody got a few $100s. They giving these people thousands of dollars.
Yeah, they
like
are.
literally thousands of dollars to do
That's
nothing.
very true.
And they live in hotels being paid at our expense. They're living better than they ever lived in their life. They come from a place where they lack toilet tissue. Now they have an abundance of toilet tissue.
Is expecting more than 7 buses.
And at the end of the day, the black man right. We didn't come here at our own free will. We worked here for free labor. And the things we asked for, everybody act like we're begging. But when other people come in this bitch begging, everybody wallet open. But when the black man asks for some help and some services, everybody wallet is closed.
That number will be about $120,000 per person here in Chicago if they gave it to us in reparations. As so you said, that'd be about $120,000. And I think that $120,000 to black people would help the economy flourish. Many blacks will start a lot of small businesses. As we know, small business is what builds the economy. But, you know, white folks
Right,
don't
but
want that.
right,
They don't
100%.
really want that.
But that's what I was asking you. Like your sentiments about it. Like, yeah, they
I
misuse
said
it.
my sentiment wouldn't change because at the end of the day, that was emergency fund money. That's for emergency. So now if it's an emergency for black people to get this stuff, then that's cool. But at the end of the day, that money was meant for a purpose.
And so when this does, which I think we're gonna go into another shutdown, probably either this year or next
We're gonna
year.
be crying for money.
And people in Chicago we're gonna be in a messed up situation. I agree 100%. If we don't figure out a way to get more funds to get more money.
Savage. So, what's your take on this? So, Brandon Johnson trying to use reparations and try to how did that go again? He's trying to bring it up to the was it the president himself, or he was trying to bring it up to somebody that, hey, if we bring in some money, if we give blacks reparations for like the crime rate and or something like that, that you know what I'm trying to say. He's trying to use reparations as like a word.
I mean, because the crime rate in Chicago and black communities, that was caused because of the crack epidemic, and we all know that was funded through the government. That the cocaine and all that. So they kind of made these scenarios in our neighborhoods. You see what I'm saying? So he's saying, let's get reparations for that. If y'all not going to give us reparations for slavery and things of that nature, then give us reparations for what we've been through. We all came from the 80s. Most of the people here were born in the 80s, and we have people that have been through the crack epidemic. We all, you know what I'm saying? So we technically experienced that. That's something that was done by the government. Their hands is dirty with that. We all know how that kind of went. They flooded our neighborhoods with cocaine. So therefore, our generation technically is owed that. Since everybody keeps saying that we didn't go through slavery, we didn't go through this, but this is actually what we went through. You see what I'm saying? So
I was personally affected by the crack epidemic. So I'm gonna ask you, what exactly is he trying to do far as that?
I believe he's not really trying to do anything. I believe he's just using that to get black people all around, try to get them back on his side because he knows we've been losing them with the immigration shit, with the migrant shit. Yeah, I don't really believe he has no real true intention of even pushing it. Everybody just likes saying the word now.
So it ain't nothing tangible. People just using the word reparations
because it gets black people all hyped up.
It's like clickbait almost. We're just kind of using reparations as a way to pull you in.
Yeah,
because the Democratic Party is losing, as we know.
I mean, the Democrats.
Well, hold on. Okay, yeah, we're gonna talk more about it when we actually have the whole sit down conversation about it. I just want to kind of throw it out there for right now.
Yeah, that's gonna be.
We definitely gonna cover it. I will say next week because it's definitely a huge conversation, especially for this type of a platform. But I would definitely want to actually get the article and then we go through the article and then break it down, piece by piece. But okay, so like I said, for the most part, I think we all in agreement with the whole with that video we just saw. I mean, I mean, like I said, lady got a standing ovation and all that stuff, and then my homeboy, although he was wearing quite the get up, putting it nicely. He still made a very, very important statement. So he made it's important. One of the biggest things he said was, even despite everybody cheering, it is his right to say boo, to go against everybody, and that's just what it. I mean, if you want to agree, I mean, if you wanted to be in denial about it or not, that's what Black America is right now. Like, despite everything, despite what the whole masses want to push towards this great mass integration, it's still it's still going to be a big thing left behind when we do this great integration without addressing the problems that America left behind for blacks. namely the reparations. You know, there's a lot of, like I said, we can go down the list. We can go all the way down the list, starting with land on Plymouth Rock. But like right after Plymouth Rock, there was all these type of like right after the Emancipation Proclamation, all these different type of vagrancy laws, the red line. I mean, you name it. You know what I'm saying? None of that stuff was addressed. All these other people came in and then benefited off the bloodshed, sweat and tears of like Dr. King and all those others that they made a way for people like these migrants. You know what I'm saying? So
I just want to say something. It seems like it's going to be a revolving door. Because less resources in the community is going to always equate to some sort of violence or some way for us to try to get money and try to survive. It just seems like it's going to be a reoccurring cycle, and then they're going to act like we're the worst fucking people in the world when crime and stuff is happening because we have no way to survive. You know what I'm saying?
We're talking about the cause are we talking about the effect without talking about the cause? And the cause was, again, systemic oppression.
Of course. That's what I want. I want to say that, and y'all can correct me if I'm wrong, but I feel like we're the only race here in America that systematically and on purpose be held down from being successful.
I don't know about that, buddy.
I mean, we'll explain. I would like an explanation. I will like, because if you're going to disagree with
race in America,
well, then who else is? What other race systematically is oppressed and systematically they work against them to make sure that they do not become successful?
Americans who were here first.
Hold on. No.
We are the natives.
Hold on.
Most of us are the Native Americans.
I already know what you.
We got a lot of $5 Indians now. We got a lot of $5 Native Americans. A lot of white folks that claim they're Native American, but they're not really Native American.
That's a nuance, but I'm talking about, and I already know what you finna say, Mr. They got casinos. They don't all have casinos.
They got reservations.
I wasn't about to say that either.
You don't know disparities, especially the Native Americans that's going on way over there by the Northwest, about how did they get murdered and the cops do absolutely nothing to solve their problems. How they're stuck on reservations and the only thing they can live in are little tin can houses in the middle of fucking winter tundra without any support any type of way. We're not the only people. Black people play pandering victims all fucking time. We're the only ones that go to this. That's a fucking lie.
Okay, so to your knowledge, do you know the Native Americans get reparations every year? They've been getting reparations every year.
True. That's very true.
Hold on. Wait. But
they get $1 billion every year.
What tribe of American medicine are you talking about?
All Native Americans.
That's wrong. That's wrong. Not the Choctaws, the Chippewas. What are you talking about?
The Choctaws, hold on, time out. The Choctaws, they fucked themselves over in the 20s by letting the white man come in there and fuck all their women, and they was killing all their goddamn women. They did that to themselves. That's why
black people fucked themselves and fucking giving away our people to the white man. What are you working with?
That's a little. You kind of fishing, kind of reaching with that one because we don't really.
Okay.
Those are different tribes and stuff.
Indian people can govern their own land and they make their own laws.
They actually don't govern their own land because if they govern their own land, they wouldn't go into the disparities they're going to do now.
No, you know why they go to disparities? Because they fucking crooked and greedy, just like everybody else.
Well, aren't black people fucking ourselves up by taking our money from black businesses and spending on white businesses?
Big dog.
Even after being told that we should spend on black businesses.
Tell me, stop it. First off, there's not a lot of black businesses to spend your money with. And then when you do spend your money with black businesses, they don't appreciate that shit. Okay, get that shit straight. It's not.
So that's black people's problem then.
No.
If you got a black business,
stop it. Because even if you have a black business, it's not in the black neighborhood. It's still in the white neighborhood. They still have to pay money.
Well, who did that? Who fault is that?
Who fault is that? That's the government's fault because they do not allow black people to get business in their neighborhood like the Arabs or the Chinese, sir.
Okay, we're not talking about the Arabs and the Chinese.
But this is why we don't have business in our neighborhood.
You're making a comparison. You're making a comparison that the black. Yes, you are. You're making a comparison that black people are the only people that's done wrong systemically in America. That is a fallacy.
Big dog, the Indians got their just do and they fucked it.
Okay, the black people, we fucked that shit up. What are we talking about?
What just do we ever get? Do we get $1 billion a year?
But we ran around and tore up our neighborhoods or what somebody else did. Why don't we go over there and tell the white people neighborhoods?
What are you talking about?
Why don't we go to tell white people neighborhoods?
You can't go there, sir.
So then fuck our shit up?
I would say this. Black people is the only people that has not been reprimanded by the United States for the wrongdoings that has happened. The United States has reprimanded Japan. They has reprimanded the natives that you're talking about now. They have reprimanded the so-called Irish by giving them a leeway to become white. The Italians, everybody that has come here and it has been done wrong by the U.S. government has been reprimanded, and blacks have not have been the only people that have been done wrong by the government that has never been reprimanded.
So that is what you're gonna hear online, right? King and Savage is they're gonna try to tell you. I want you to answer this because this is what they're gonna tell. This is what they're gonna say online. They're gonna say, "Oh, well, black people were paid back in opportunities," and what I mean by that is, it's pretty much self-explanatory. Things like affirmative action. So let's start with that.
And they cut it too, just so you know.
So like affirmative action, do you think that's a justifiable?
No, not at all.
Do you have a additional response or back and forth?
Not a lot of black people got the benefit from affirmative action because a lot of black kids didn't have those type of schools. Get those type of opportunities to even go to those type of colleges.
More immigrants got it.
You know what I'm saying? Like they said, the people that manipulate that more is more Native Americans, Asians, Indian people. It's not really black people that benefited. Everybody else really benefited from it. And this is stuff we fall for, but we don't get to use it. All they have to do is let a certain minority in. It doesn't have to be a black minority to a certain extent.
Thank you.
They can just let everybody else in and let a small percentage of black and say that's affirmative action.
Therefore,
we didn't benefit off that. It's word, like you said, it's wordplay manipulations. Yes. And for him to sit there and say that Native Americans are in a worse situation than black people,
that's not what I said.
That's what you was comparing.
I didn't know. That's what I said.
So what you
don't put words in my mouth. That's not what the fuck I said.
Why did you bring it up then, sir?
I said we are not the only ones that's going due to systemic disparities. I never said they're worse than us. Get your fucking words right, Cream Savage.
But that's what you were comparing to. You're trying to
comparison and saying something is worse. Two different things.
You literally said that
I did not say they worse. I did not say they worse. I said we're not the only ones going to something. That's why I said what you said was a fallacy.
Let's go.
No one said, they worse off than us.
For everybody that's watching, the counter argument was those Native Americans were repaired for the damage done to their tribe or to their culture. Now what they did with that
yearly. It's still happening to this day.
And it seemed to be still happening.
They get reparations every year, annually.
It's very true.
What do you get, sir?
What he's saying is very true.
What do you get? Do you get any reparations annually?
Annually. I say black people pander.
Annually.
Black people pander and do victim shaming all the fucking time. You got actual people. You got people that come over this country. You got people that come to this country that look like you and make opportunities themselves and make it.
Hold on.
You live in this country.
Because they come to this country, they get benefits for coming to this country.
That's exactly the truth.
But if it's racism against black people,
it's not racism against black people. It's racism against the American blacks. It's racism against what they can now is called the FBA, the Foundational Black Americans. It is racism against us. It is to undermine us, make sure that we don't get up and go out and be like, hey, well, look at the African guy. He did it. And then they all turn around and look down on us when literally I can tell you for a fact I have a business myself, and I go and I look for these loans and for these grants, and I kid you not, there is not one in there that says for black men only. It's all for black women. It's all for Hispanics. It's all for if you come from this country, you're African. It's not one in there for American black men, but they got it all for everybody else. Trust and believe me, it is a systematic system that is designed to keep us down, and especially black men. They are trying to effeminize us, weaken us, and making us less important to the black family. I'm not saying what you're saying is not true. Yes, they have had some part in the Native Americans being where they at and disparage where they at. But the truth of the matter is, we the only people that have been done wrong by the U.S. that has never been reprimanded. And the truth be told, the affirmative action shit don't mean nothing, because not only was it only benefiting immigrants, they done cut the program already. As we all know, it's gone.
Well, affirmative action, that's another subject in its own matter, but I actually agree with you. I don't care for affirmative action. I think it makes our people lazy. Because
I don't know.
We're not really a lazy people, honestly, brother. We're really just put into.
I'm not saying black people are lazy. I said it can make
that's
us
a
lazy.
myth. That's a myth, man. That black people are lazy.
No. He said
you think it makes us lazy, right?
Makes us lazy. Okay. It makes us lazy because we don't have to work as hard as anyone else to get into a certain situation off the strength of our skin color.
I'm telling you, man, that affirmative action shit.
That's how affirmative
it
action works, right?
it ain't really worked for us since probably like the 60s.
Not really working for us. Doesn't take the fact that it does work at times.
It's basically grading black people on a curve. Okay, they know that you come from the black schools, this, and the third, but you have a certain level of education and common sense that you can understand basic instructions. So therefore, if we allow you to come to this curriculum, you may have the possibility to excel. But the likelihood of it, they believe that you will fail. But then you have some that are, exceptional black people, they manage to excel giving the opportunity.
Right, but I always say it shouldn't be there to begin with, so that way it pushes our people to want more and push harder to get it instead of being like, well, I'm black, I could be a tax write-off. Let me give it a shot, and you may get in.
No, that's what the schools say when they see you. That's not what a black person says when they I'm a tax write-off and I go to the school.
Let me just interject on that, just in case the counter argument that never gets brought up. So the points you had made regarding the tax write-off, and that's not what I've been saying. Like I actually did do some research regarding college admissions and stuff like that, and a lot of the reasons. So actually the top few reasons that people are the top handful of reasons that colleges accept people and stuff like that. Because let's put it this way. There's you have to write an essay or whatever to submit to a college in hopes of being accepted. And that's what a lot of this this is part of the whole Supreme Court decision to end race as a way of accept. Beanie killed me right now.
Benny, quit arguing with that woman.
Yeah, man. All I'm trying to say is, there's a list of items that colleges look at or universities look at when selecting a college student, hopeful students to be admitted to the colleges. Race was one of those things before the Supreme Court made a decision to omit that. But there are still other things that can benefit Black Americans, so to speak. But the reason why the race admissions was important, especially for Black people, is because we have a history of not. The reason for the underachieving schools in Chicago is not because the kids are dumb per se. It's because of the cause, right, that kind of led these schools or that led these students to not be as advanced as the other students. It's not just the fact that these schools have outdated books, unmotivated teachers, children with not even just mental disabilities, but just traumas at home that they're unable to focus and stuff like that because to your point, the emasculation of a lot of men and the over willingness of men to step out and stuff like that and step outside of the family and unmarried, the marriage race play a part. It's a lot of bad shit within the Black communities that did stem from a lot of systemic oppression that came directly from the government, and none of that stuff was repaired. So again, when we talk about this cause, and then finally some told it as to why it happened, why the Black student is not performing as well as these other students, it's a lot of it is going to be to do with what I just said about the quality of these schools that these kids are coming from, along with the dilapidated cities that these kids come from, and just just the disparity in ability to perform and not just perform, but to study and be in a safe space to focus on the studies of the same capacity as these kids in safer neighborhoods. So to make it even more simple for the people they kind of got lost in the sauce a bit. Think of the standard white kid that lives in Wheaton, some Wheaton suburb, and then another kid that lives in inner city Chicago. The kid living in inner city Chicago has a whole lot of shit they have to deal with in order to get home at night, study, deal with the traumas that their parents are putting them through, and all of this shit. And they write all of that shit down on those college admissions and then submit them to that college. Whereas the white kid or the Asian kid, according to their own, according to people like John Wang and stuff like that, that because their lives are essentially more easier to deal with, they feel like it's unfair that colleges are using black people's actual real what's the word I'm looking for? Trauma. That it's like they have a problem with black people using like their real life experience trauma as a way to get a one up over them to get to these schools. And then the narrative that all these black kids are not they're not performing and stuff, or they don't deserve these colleges is completely out of the question. They still have to make the grades. They still need the GPA. They still need to pass these tests and stuff like that to get in. The kids do. I mean, this is not obviously this is not for you. This is for the people. But these kids do deserve to be in these schools because they got the grades. They did the test scores. It's just that they did get an edge over them because their lived experience is nowhere near as simple and easygoing as most white kids as most white kids that go to these high end colleges. Now, white kids that came from poor neighborhoods and poor environments, like inner city Chicago as an example, they will have that advantage. They just have to explain that to
when they write the essay.
So it's not that people are just lazier. It's not like affirmative action is not like a safety net that black people fall. How should I put this? It's not like they use this as a safety net to allow themselves to be more lazier than their counterparts that the kids they're supposed to be competing against. It's just a lived experience that is not that. It's addressing the lived experience that they have to go through and they have to continue with and do good in school at the same time. Mm-hmm. There's one last thing I want to add at, but I don't think it's that important. I'll remember later. We got to move to the next video.
Yeah, for sure.
But yeah, like I said, for the most part, that's for those, like I said, those John Waynes out there, those white kids that feel like, oh, these black kids, they getting in, they don't deserve it, and that's just further. That couldn't be more furthest from the truth.
Well, I mean, I agree with most of your sentiment, but at the same time, I don't think black people take responsibility for what we do and how we propagate.
Too many black people.
Culture.
I'm sorry to cut you off. I got to speed this long. Too many black people do make excuses for us that's completely unjustifiable. I will agree with you to say that, and I would argue that reparations are not going to come, and these band-aid solutions that they're awarding us that's all they're going to do. Yeah. So unfortunately, the cause is coming directly from the government, but the onus is on us. Yeah. Right. And that's what black people are gonna have to accept. So let's move on to the next video and try to speed it along. So here we got a video that's kind of showing Chicagoans what Brandon Johnson plans on doing with this COVID relief fund. So let's check it out. You got people.
Yeah, go ahead.
No, we'll just wait. We in between videos anyway, so. I'll just reintroduce it or whatever. Yeah, that was a long ass video. Yeah, that should take 6 months. You see, we got like about 40 minutes for surreal. Y'all, do the rest of y'all got like time commitments?
No, I freed up my time today.
Okay. King, you cool?
I mean, I ain't gonna be all day, but
nah, man. We got like we do got like 3 more videos. I mean, I'm estimating like this is 4, 5, probably like 5:30.
That's fine. Yeah. I switched my days out, so.
Yeah, I know. I know Sherelle got kind of issue.
Yeah.
I probably had to get a dude in on action. Yo, Benny.
She don't love you, man. Give it up.
Hey, Benny. I called you. He didn't.
Yeah. I didn't. I'm being stupid.
No, Sherelle might have to leave soon. You think you can fill in for him for maybe 30 minutes? Is that possible? Oh, you got to go? Okay. It's all good. So we say. You got this? Oh, okay.
So basically what you're saying, King, is that we carry no fault whatsoever how the things have worked out for us. No, I'm saying that. I'm not saying you said it verbatim. I'm saying that's what you're getting at. Cause that's why I said.
It's a cost of effect to our actions.
Right, but have you ever looked at the reparations that the Indian people are getting? Because I
just know they get $1 billion. I just looked at the tag. I don't know where it goes. Like every tribe it goes to. I just know they get $1 billion sent to their communities. Like all they look, I don't know how it breaks up, but I know they get $1 billion each year, and they begin this.
Have you ever seen the map of Native Americans reservations?
They were supposed to last time.
Chicago Black Delegation Podcast. You on the air? What you got for us?
Yeah, I just got a question about your panel. How come the gentleman on the far left never agrees with the gentleman that's on the far right, like Kanji and Keem? Do you guys ever come to terms on something? Do y'all ever agree at all?
Sometimes depending, but most days we don't.
They agree on things like chicken and shit like that.
No, I
was called y'all.
Yeah, but that's something that's not relevant to the topic at hand. No,
we don't really agree with most of the time. No, we don't.
That's a good question, though, bro.
It depends on the subject.
Yeah, look, I think it would be nice to have like some sort of, a little bit more of a camaraderie between the two of y'all. And then, it seems like y'all just be going off the same point that y'all be talking, and it drifts very further away from the topic that's being discussed. And then there's a lot of suspect, comments that's added into it that's very unnecessary.
Hey, thanks for your comments, bro. You better think about that, Kanji, man. That man speaking fast.
Hey,
he's talking. You're talking, right? hey, thanks for your comments, bro. We gonna get.
Yeah, man. It's checkers, not chess, man. Y'all gotta play like it,
I feel you.
Do you?
Hey, what do you say?
He said, do you? He said you feel him. You said, do you?
Yeah, I did. Nigga. Go get up out of here, nigga. Look at that motherfucker. All right.
Oh man.
Okay, yeah. So we're gonna start from the top.
Jesus.
Suspect. Right.
Oh, that nigga's stupid, man. Okay, so all right, so here we go. We're gonna be covering a video detailing or just a quick video or update on Brandon Johnson's plans for the migrant crisis. What's like some brief general thoughts of what y'all have regarding the migrant crisis in Chicago?
I mean, man, I need to go back where it came from. I'm sorry. I'm not trying to be mean, but it's like we ain't got it to we just don't got it to save all these people. They keep saying no, we got it, but we don't. You know what I'm saying? We giving all this money, and we about to get into all this war. It's like if they want to really come be part of this country, then they got to go to war. Like how they told us we got to go fight for our freedom. You got to fight to live in this motherfucker. So that mean all your men and all your boys, they get to go first. So if they want to be American so bad, this is what we had to go through. We had to go first. So and people know what that shit mean when you go first. That mean you get shot first.
Isn't that amazing?
Well, that was about the most cold-blooded shot I heard in my goddamn life.
Hey, we don't agree on much, but I will agree on that.
Oh, hell no. Y'all kill me, man.
Hey, y'all finna be bullet sponges.
All right. No, nigga. You can't say that.
I mean, bro, everybody got to pay their dues, man. The Italians paid their dues. Even the Chinese, they built the railroads, okay? Hey, black people did what we had to build. They built the motherfucking railroads around this bitch now. They built.
Not bullet sponges though, man.
What the fuck you thought
y'all
we was?
gotta be doing that. I gotta do that. Hey, y'all, man, if America got some sick, I'm just saying, don't just send them in to get killed and then shoot the missiles.
It's not that. It's just the bullet sponge is because you're just the first to go in.
I feel you.
The people the first to go in.
All right.
Are the first to get shot.
We were the first to go in during the Civil War. They're gonna be the first to go in during this World War III shit.
Damn, is that? Damn, that might be true.
I mean, it was Civil War, even Vietnam. Black people, they made them go in there first to get shot first.
Damn.
White man came after the niggas. Okay, after they slowed them down, black people got a couple good kills. The white man came to clean it up and claim victory.
All right, Sherelle, you got something for me, man?
Yeah, I don't know how to come back from all of that. But I would say, man, it's just I feel it's fucked up. The the Democrats done brought over here all these migrants with no plan, and also like he said, man, we don't have enough resources to even sustain the people that's already here. Why are we bringing these people here? I drive around the city, man. These people are all outside of the police station. They all everywhere. It's not cool. It ain't right. They don't speak our language. They don't understand our culture. I feel there should have been a better plan for them. Not saying that they just go back to their country and just fuck them, but it should have been a better plan.
Brandon Johnson actually noted to say there was no we didn't have the proper safety net. We didn't create the strategy to be able to accommodate all these people, and that's a big reason why he's attacking that governor in Texas this entire time. So he's blaming right wing extremism. He's blaming that governor in Texas, but he needs all to understand that it's making Chicago a sanctuary city in a time like this and an economic climate such as this. It's completely horrible idea. Let's start this video real quick, and then we can have some additional comments right after.
7 buses today, joining forces with the mayors of New York City and Denver on CNN this morning. Mayor Brandon Johnson says cities are reaching a breaking point.
Without a coordinated operation, this is going to crush local economies because there is a financial responsibility that we have all taken on.
Johnson told city council members today the cost of migrant support is approaching $300 million this year. The mayor plans to shift $95 million in federal COVID economic relief funds to cover some of the costs.
At least that prevents us from having to dip into the budget and cut back on city services this year. Next year is another matter.
Second Ward Alderman Brian Hopkins says if the crisis continues next year without more federal support, cuts in city services are inevitable. Meantime, as buses are now arriving in suburbs, several municipalities are passing ordinances threatening big fines for bus drivers who arrive with no notice. The villages of Madison and Posen took action last night.
It's a deterrent and it's a humanitarian issue because we don't have housing for individuals to come in off of a bus.
As the price tag continues to grow in the city, Alderman Hopkins says he doesn't blame the suburbs for putting measures in place to prevent new arrivals from settling in their small towns.
No municipal government was ever set up to pay for the cost of a mass wave of human migration.
Alderman Hopkins says the mayor also announced that the city is committed to helping 11,000 migrants with work visas and job training by February. Hopkins says the city must do its part to help migrants become self-sustaining.
Watch breaking news.
So, any knee-jerk reactions?
I mean, the whole thing, they didn't have a plan. I get that, but the Democrats have a plan. The whole reason they're allowing this to happen is because they want to beat Trump. So my theory is that we're about to see the highest, citizenship we ever seen in our fucking lives. Yep. Because they want to beat Trump. They're going, and the problem is the Democrats know they're losing black people with all their lies, and so they need a new group of people to trick.
It's not just the black people they losing as well,
but they need a new group of people to trick, and they're going to trick the fuck out these migrants for a good 50, 60 years. We were the guy that got you guys to come over here. We protected you. We did this. We gave you money. Vote for us. They literally said out their mouth, we need all the migrants to come so we can beat Trump.
You know what? You might have. It's kind of tough because I don't think they have like the citizenship to be able to vote yet. But they are. They are turning over people. They are giving people the licenses though. I did hear about that.
They also allowing migrants now. They just passed a law in Illinois allowing them to actually become police officers now.
Yeah,
because our police staff is short. So you see what I'm saying? And then you can trick them motherfuckers over policing us and killing us because we don't want them to be here.
Exactly.
It's a tactic just to cause us to fight amongst black and brown. And that's what they want us to do. And we're going to do that because we're fighting over resources. That's strategy. You know what I'm saying? And it's small pickings. And the simple fact that they're trying to push them above us is going to make us react. And then they're going to react because they're just acting off defense. You know what I'm saying? Self-preservation, like the man said. Therefore, I love me. And they love them. And that's how it's going to be. And that creates war and internally. You see what I'm saying? And all this is just to beat one man. They scared of this one man. But I hate to say it, if Trump do get in town, this shit is gonna stop, and it do need to stop because the Democrats need to close the fucking borders. This shit is getting outrageous. It's getting a little bit outrageous. And they're not running from nobody. Okay, they're not running from nobody. They're not in no detriment. their country is poor, but literally the dude just told them that he wasn't going to take care of their ass no more. And after the COVID shit, motherfuckers had to go back to work and find jobs. And these motherfuckers lost their shit. They've been living off whatever small minimum wage, not minimum wage, whatever money they get. They've been getting that from the government since the COVID shit. So they got accustomed to just kind of chilling. You see what I'm saying? So now you telling me I got to get back out here and make do. They don't want to do that. But they telling you they come here to work. They don't come here to work. Like I said, niggas out here doing what they been always doing. They robbing, stealing, getting it how they get in. That's all it is just making us fight them. And that's all it is going to make us go to jail, because when they go to jail, the judges literally been letting them go home. They said, bro, they drop all crimes because they have sympathy for their situation. So basically anything law they break, they like, man, he had to do it. But when black people had to say that shit, man, we had to do it. They gave us 20 years. Nobody gave a fuck about a nigga what he had to do when he was trying to feed his family. But it's okay for them to do whatever they got to do to feed their family.
And that is the problem. There is no empathy or sympathy for the black community. And the only thing we get told is pull yourself up by the bootstraps. Y'all commit crimes, black on black crimes. We get told everything that we do wrong. And there is no empathy, no sympathy, no programs to help us out whatsoever. It's always told, man, get that shit on your own. Get it on your own. And then we go ahead and try to get it on our own. They make every law possible to make sure that we are locked up for that shit or that we don't get it.
Yeah, they put like little loopholes in it. Like whole thing with the marijuana license, right? They literally put bullshit like
and liquor license.
Yeah,
don't
you
forget
can't
that.
you can't get a marijuana license if you don't have a veteran in your family. So I have a person that was trying to go get their marijuana license. She did all her proper paperwork, paid all this money, and literally when you pay all this money, you don't get this money back. So they let you go through all the process, then they throw a loophole into you. Well, you don't have a veteran, so therefore you don't qualify for it. You see what I'm saying? But you just took my $20,000. What the fuck you mean? Why you didn't tell me about this whole little thing? I had to have a veteran to qualify for this type of program. You see what I'm saying? They taking our money and they just put, and they keep saying we letting black people in the marijuana business, but there's literally like 1% to 2% of black people owning possibly a marijuana business. Everybody else is just white in big corporations. So we're getting blackballed out of $1 billion corporation that shit. Black people been selling weed since shit. We've been baby.
We know the shit better than everybody else.
You know what I'm saying? So
you know what I'm saying?
All of a sudden, these people became experts instantly on this, that, and the third because they was already planning on doing this for years. And they've been locking us up, telling us it's wrong. But it's okay to America to get some money by any means necessary, but it's not okay for us. You see what I'm saying? That's where the problem is at.
Game is rigged. It's just a rigged game, man. And if you don't play by the rules, man, you're going to get caught up in the system.
I mean, shout out, what's his name? The Black Messiah. He understood that concept. It's just poor people against poor people.
Yeah.
You ever look at most of the Ku Klux Klan stuff like this? They're just trailer trash.
Oh, yeah. Definitely.
Yeah.
But they tricked them with the notion that you're better. You're better. So
of
if
course.
they believe they're better, we got to keep them niggas down.
Yeah. So they turn us against them.
Race is a goddamn war tactic. Definitely. Against the people that the haves and have-nots.
Keep the rich rich and the poor poor.
So we actually got a couple questions from the chat real quick if y'all want to respond. So let me just, God damn it, this Trevon Kendrick guy just messed my whole flow
Jesus
up.
Christ.
Anyway,
God.
why Chuckle Mang asks why the migrants a problem for black people? What resources are we fighting them over?
I mean, all this money that's being given to them are taken out of our black neighborhoods. That's because so the migrant situation, the side thing is a Chicago City thing. So the surrounding suburbs technically don't have to take them in. That's why they have the ability to deny them. So this is only something that the city of Chicago voted on. So therefore, I mean, most dominantly black people that live in the city of Chicago and white people. And white people don't want this shit either. And even the Mexicans that live in the city, they kind of push them out their neighborhoods because they say they know the Venezuelans. They know what type of people they are. So you have own Hispanic people that don't want to fuck with these people. I don't know Venezuelan people, so I don't know how they act. But you have this certain prejudice towards them from Hispanic people alone. So you have, these other immigrants don't even like these motherfuckers. So why we supposed to like them and love them? You see what I'm saying? If they own people like they own brother in country, like, hey, we don't fuck with them either. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They even say they're lazy. Like how he say black people are lazy. They say they're really lazy and they just got their hands out. Yeah. They're not really workers. They just want to get free shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, Mexicans really don't like the idea of being conflated with the identity of Salvadorians. Yeah. For whatever reason.
Because they say it's a difference. They say they make Mexicans, Hispanic people look bad because they're lazy. Yeah. They're just beggars. That's what they say about them.
Any other answers to the question before I get mine?
I've always said, man, they're cutting programs for kids. They're closing some of these park districts and schools. It's taken away from us the money
and housing.
Exactly,
especially housing. People are losing their place in line.
So because people been waiting on that housing list for years, and it's finally their turn. Now they're getting kicked out those lists.
Oh, did you? And to take that money that we're using to house them and give them jobs and training, we got homeless people. We got black people who got fucking veterans. Yeah, we got people with felonies and all this stuff from the system that they've been putting us in imprisonating us, right? So we taking all of that money and we're using it for this when we can use it to build up what we already have right where we at. We have so much damage already.
Okay. Yeah, so I mean, I think one of the most serious things that serious resources that we losing out on with the inclusion of migrants in Chicago is our tax dollars. Yeah, these are skillless individuals that's coming from a poor nation without bringing any value to Chicago. I mean, how else can we really cut it here? With the inclusion of these people, Chicago's millionaires and billionaires is gonna have to come out of pocket to create programs specifically or especially for these migrants so they can have jobs. Right? They got to come up with a whole bunch of low skill jobs to accommodate for all of these people. Like that's what the plan is. Whereas I'd argue that a lot of those I would like to see like those types of efforts be expressed to Black Americans or the teens that couldn't have these type of jobs and stuff like that.
I mean, basically, they're gonna take the teenage jobs, the easiest jobs they can take that they allow teenagers to do.
Now, Brandon Johnson did say during his opening speech when he became a mayor or whatever, he did say he was gonna make a way to create jobs and programs for the teenagers and stuff like that, to combat like the restlessness that happens downtown and stuff. Now that he said all that before this migrant crisis happened, and I don't know what this migrant crisis is gonna do to those plans, but I'd imagine it's gonna complicate the hell out of them. But besides all that, tax dollars. We all of us are taxpayers.
So it takes about 34% from you. So if they keep going up, it's gonna be roughly around 40% of your money is gonna be gone.
Yeah, and then we're using that money to help out people that
not even Americans.
It's not even Americans.
You know what I'm saying? It's one thing the difference is you say, hey bro, we gotta do this. You see all these veterans, you see all these bums. These are people that lived in this town and they came up short. Whatever reason they came up short, they should have an opportunity to, get a second chance in life. But we're forgetting about these type of people. You know what I'm saying? We supposed to help these people that we don't have no relations to. They don't benefit us. Like Venezuela don't make shit for us. They don't give nothing to our country. You see what I'm saying? It's like it's no trick of the trade here. They're not giving nothing. They just take it. You see what I'm saying? They're not giving us no type of investment. Only investment they're saying is if we do give them jobs, this and the money that can help with the inflation because it's going to be more money spent and more people working. And that's true to a certain extent, but that's going to be the detriment of black people because they're trying to give them a certain political power because they know they're losing the blacks, the Arabs, and they're starting to lose the white people that fuck with Democrats because they just getting out of hand with the gay shit and the immigration shit. Americans is they're getting tired of that shit to a certain extent. Yeah. So they need a new group of people to manipulate.
So you make the notion that the Venezuelans, that's coming over here, not the Hondurans, right?
No, Venezuela.
Salvadorians,
Venezuelans.
What happened to the Hondurans? Weren't they a ding at one point?
I'm not certain. Maybe we can check that out.
They probably coming in the mixture. Maybe so.
I think they came first. That's what the whole.
I don't know. I thought it was the Salvadorians. I don't know.
Right. I'm a little confused about who. But South America.
That's all.
Your thing is South America doesn't really contribute to the American economy.
No.
So they don't deserve any type of funding.
free funding, yes, no.
Okay, but see, the problem with that statement is the problem with that statement is when you have countries that have contributed to the American economy, you said they don't deserve our funding, but they contribute to American economy.
I mean, who did I say that?
When we had the pre-med disagreement when we discussed,
Native Americans?
Yeah, no, not even Native Americans, people outside the country.
Who we talking
like
about? Africans?
You made the point of how we give money to the other countries because of whatever.
I mean, we give money to other countries because of basically. I learned that the reason why the stuff with Israel, Iran, China, Japan, all these things like that, because we have military bases, so those are contract things. So when you allow us to have military bases on your land, that's like payment.
We got military bases in Japan.
We have bases over there.
Military
we have bases everywhere. That's how we. This is why America is considered to be a superpower. Before us, it was Russia with the Soviet Union.
But that's not why they gave them reparations. They gave them reparations.
No. Who we talking about?
I mean, most we gave them like Japan. We gave them reparations because we bombed the fuck out of them.
Yeah, Hiroshima.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but
and Nagasaki.
Yeah, we did. Because that was inhumane because we didn't know about. They said we didn't know about the radiation and
right. But all the.
But that's
I argue they knew, but
killing black people for 400 years. Oh, okay, that's not inhumane. Shit.
Well, I appreciate you didn't increase the years because every time I get out with black people, like it's 600 years like this.
I mean, it's close to about 500 now. But
they count it without, even though you're free, but we're still dying from different circumstances. We're still oppressed, so it's a different form of slavery. So that's why people add more years to it because technically we've never truly been free in this country.
We still ain't. Shit. Let a motherfucking black person do one thing wrong. Man, your ass going to jail for a long ass time. They gonna give you the maximum fucking prison sentence they can give you.
Well, that's a whole nother conversation. But
y'all know what?
There's a lot wrong with that statement. But this is I'm making the point of it. The fact that you said that South America didn't contribute to American economy, so that they don't deserve free funding, but the countries that you said that do contribute to American economy, you said they don't deserve funding neither.
I mean, I'm trying to figure out what countries I'm talking about.
What countries? That's what I want to know.
I'm saying. I don't know what country you're saying. That's it. Say that
because free funding would be just reparations, right?
Not necessarily, because it's us giving money to Israel, right? That's more of the business that America has with the Jews. See, the Jews, they even though we giving them money, but the Jews do things for America, you know what I'm saying, to keep our money in circulation.
Exactly.
Going. So therefore, it's a trade. Even though they giving us something, we're not just giving them money. They do stuff for us too in return. You see what I'm saying? I'm saying the Venezuelan people does nothing for us in return for us to do anything for them. Even with the Ukraine shit, they do stuff for us too. They give us resources. You see what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. It's a trade-off. See what I'm saying? We're just giving. That's the problem.
So we don't have any exports, imports coming from South America is what you're saying.
I don't believe there's but outside of probably liquor.
If it is, it ain't
liquor,
much.
It ain't nothing like real. Not no oil, not no food, no wheat, no meat, no. Like, you know what I'm saying? At best, we probably just use the shit to transport through their territory. At best, but they don't give us no wholesale or no grain, no oil, no. What else do we get from people? No cotton. Well, we do good cotton with make shit. They don't make shit for us. You know what I'm saying? Like. They're just a place. They're just a place. You know what I'm saying? They don't contribute to our world economy. That's basically what I'm saying. They don't contribute to the world economy.
So closing statements on the fact that we giving migrants our COVID relief money. Anybody?
I mean, shit, we shouldn't give it to them.
Okay.
That's simple.
Yeah, I don't.
I mean, that money is used for something else. And I say if it's supposed to be used for emergency, it's supposed to be used for emergency for the people of Chicago, not people coming to Chicago.
Yeah.
It says that Latin America already supplies the great bulk of the United States imports of autonomy, whatever this is, babosu nuts.
Coffee? Coffee?
It could be. I don't know.
It could be the coffee bean.
Beryllium, castor beans, coffee.
Yeah, that's coffee beans.
Flaxseed.
So they give us the coffee trade.
Quartz, crystals.
Okay, that mean they can
sugar.
So that's what I'm saying.
That's
why I ain't give what
coffee,
they said they gave us.
We can live without coffee.
It's really just like coffee and sugar and flax seeds.
That's still.
And we can get sugar from other places.
We can do that here. I'm just saying.
There's a lot of things that countries do for us that we could do here.
I'm just saying. Maybe we were just giving them a bone because they so broke.
It's not a lot, though.
Y'all kidding me.
That list is very. It's not a lot.
Saying, when you look at other countries, Rob, and the list that they give it's a large list of supplies, a large list of certain things. Like the reason why we care so much about Ukraine because they give us a large amount of resources, and also Biden has probably businesses over there that he wants to take care of. But it's a large amount of resources on that list.
What the fuck?
What the hell just happened?
That's
in case somebody said in the comments, I already know about it. But I'm saying they give us a large amount of resources.
Okay. So I'll make this last thing. When people come together to propagate society, whether it's from the smallest efforts to the biggest efforts, it's still a joint effort. So even if Venezuela or South American people, and I'm not saying they deserve that COVID money. That's not why I'm defending it at all. But even if they give not as much as another country, to say that they don't deserve nothing when another country does is kind of.
I mean, you know why? Because I'm going to value the country that gives me more resources than just coffee beans and sugar. Because coffee beans and sugar is just not only made there.
Said crystal.
Quartzite crystal.
Nobody give a fuck about a quartzite crystal. Bunch of fucking meditation shit. We can live without that. I'm talking about shit we need. That we need oil. We need uranium. We need to blow shit up. When shit get hit the fan, we need that.
Still, nobody has contributed more to the United States than the Black American.
And end of story. So, all right. So first question. It's already 4:50. So what can you do?
Give me this last video.
Okay.
I can do this last one.
So it's pretty much gonna be. It's pretty much gonna be it.
Let me see.
Like I said, we definitely long
winded.
I'll be trying to relay the plane by saying, hey.
Hold on, y'all. I'm finna lie to my girl real quick and tell her I'm on my way home.
Damn.
Hopefully she not looking at this broadcast because I just lied.
That'd be funny too. She like, your bitch ass ain't moving.
She said, "Are you on your home? On your way home?" I said, "Yes."
You might want to cut that out.
I'm lying.
She probably gonna watch that. Yeah, don't tell. I don't know. I don't care anymore.
She be alright.
They always do, man. They just yell a little bit.
Yeah.
All right. So where we at? We got two. Well, we ain't gonna do that one. We got Katt Williams or interracial relationships. All right. Well, what y'all think? Interracial relationships or
what about whatever happened to that prison joint? We ain't gonna talk about that one.
We ain't got time.
All right.
We got one more.
What's more relevant right now? What's more?
Katt Williams.
I don't really talk about the cat. I'm tired of people talking about interracial dating. I don't care enough about that.
I think that's a big thing.
It is pretty big.
It is, but I
mean, the way I see it.
I hate to say it, bro. Like I say, man, you love who you love, bro. It's not my job to dictate where you stick your dickler. It's just not my job.
You are from Cal Park. Okay, go ahead, Marcus.
What, bitch?
Next time, I want to cover that. I got some stuff I want to say.
I smother you, bitch.
All right, okay, that's fine.
What the fuck is going on here?
As a matter of fact, Reese, I'm probably gonna just kind of coach you. Two things at once. I ain't gonna lie. Yeah, it ain't that big a deal. We probably gonna do it. So what do you want to do? Since you're gonna be this is the last video, you want to do the
let's go ahead and let's do the cat. Yeah,
okay.
Yeah, nobody want to do that.
Yeah, good serious topics. Let's get some funniness.
Yeah, let's get some
some light
in the day. Good. Oh shit. Okay. Y'all funny.
That's my man's.
I gotta find Cedric's response. Well, we ain't gotta do y'all seen Cedric's response?
Yeah, we seen it.
Yeah, he full of shit.
He just kept saying it was his joke, and we watched you steal the joke. That's all.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, come on, dude.
So 618. All right. Okay, so what's up, guys? Chicago Black Delegation Podcast here, and we want to give our take on the Katt Williams situation, man. This definitely been a conversation that's been sweeping the internet, or taking the internet by storm. Shay in this podcast, this is clearly isn't this not the biggest interview on podcast history right now. What, like
I think so, man. Yeah.
Like
Shout out Shay Shay.
That shit broke the internet for real.
It went pretty damn crazy, and everybody has something to say about it. And because Cat Williams had a lot to say about it, for our coverage is going to be a little bit. I think it's going to be a little bit different than most other people's. I think I would rather talk about something about that I've heard in this podcast that I believe can a lot more black people can kind of take something home from, right? So, like, all this stuff about keeping a virgin booty hole and all these other rumors going on with these celebrities and stuff like that. There's only so much you can do with that. There's only so much the average black American can do with that information, right? Yeah. So I think one thing that a lot of black people do share in common is the ability to laugh, right? The ability to tell jokes. And I think Cat Williams has something very important to say to all of our aspiring comedians and amongst the black community. You feel me? So let's check it out.
Said he was supposed to play Money Mike and you were supposed to play Santa Claus.
An outright lie. So that he knows is a lie.
So why would he say it?
Because he's a liar. Nobody knows why liars lie. And that's why I had to come on the program. Cedric did the same thing. Cedric told you when you asked him, did you steal Cat Williams' joke? He said, it don't line up. How it don't line up that I did it on TV in 2018? You came to see me at the Comedy Store do it in 2019 and then did it on the Kings of Comedy. Like, what doesn't line up? This is a televised joke that Mark Curry helped me punch up and get to the level that it was. The same Steve that went to go watch Mark Curry do his whole sitcom and then stole everything Mark Curry had. Now Steve got a sitcom where he the principal and he wear a suit and then he gets this high top fade, making all black men think he got the best lineup in the business, and it's a man unit. Then you asked it, why are you not a movie star? I didn't want to be a movie star. This is the same Negro that hated on Bernie with this same thing. I didn't want to be a movie star. No, you couldn't be a movie star. There are 30,000 new scripts in Hollywood every year. Not one of them asks for a country bumpkin black dude.
Hold on. I think I messed this up. Hold on, man. I think I started wrong. This is the wrong part.
You don't like that nigga Steve, man.
Yeah, that was an accident. My bad. Did he talk about Cedric?
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, he mentioned Cedric.
He talked about him.
He did.
Okay.
Yeah, all that went past.
Oh, my bad. So, all right. I was doing two things at once. So what y'all think about what y'all think about this whole aspect of because y'all know what Cedric's response to that was, right? He ain't right. Cat Williams ain't making no spaceship joke last time I heard. You feel me? Right. That's essentially all he really said, right? Mm-hmm. Was that just cope, or did he have a point? What y'all take on that?
He's full of shit.
He stole the man's joke.
Yeah, it was clearly kind of stolen, and then it was kind of
he reinvented the last part.
Right.
One thing he changed was the car to a spaceship. It was
that's
the
it.
Same
right.
joke.
Yeah.
I mean, in any school when you write an essay, that's plagiarism, my boy. Like, that's plagiarism. You know what I'm saying? So
it's
the same joke. He just changed one aspect of the joke and said he made it his own, but he didn't.
If I was a dude that came in your house, Marcus, sat on your couch, particularly that one, kick my feet up with dreadlocks and smoke dandelions and not real weed, but I'm dark and supposed to be light.
Nice.
You'd be a fucking phony and full of shit.
Beta baby.
I mean, that stereotype that all Jamaicans smoke weed is quite racist. And as a black man on the black delegation, do better.
Nah, seriously, he was
those stereotypes.
But all bullshit aside, he was full of shit. That was a real lazy excuse.
Yeah, I'm with y'all on that.
I mean, he didn't. The fact of the matter is, the reason why it took him so long to bring it up because him and Sid had squashed it. He already said, I stole your joke. Yeah, you know what I'm saying. So, but the problem is we're talking about it again because Sid came on Club Shay Shay and got the line again. So now Cat. See, the problem is Cat. This is all Cat's response is all defense. He allowed everybody to come up to his show and they said what they said about it. So he waited and then he struck.
Careful, you gotta be careful doing that. Tory Lanez did the same thing that bit him in the ass.
I mean, he should tell the truth Cause I wouldn't be in jail for nobody else shoot nobody.
All right,
what they talking about?
All right, let's move. Y'all talking about Tory Lanez? me black women gonna get down our throats about that shit?
I mean, hey. Had gun residue. My man's hands was clean. That's how that shit go. I don't know what the fuck we talking about.
All right, women, just please bear with us. All right, he'll explain his.
Go read the goddamn court documents, you stupid bitches.
Oh shit!
I'm not bearing with nobody. Learn how to fucking read.
I think it's almost that time for me to go.
Chicago Black Daily is a podcast. Views shared by individuals does not represent. All right. Let's move on, man.
Joke that Mark Curry helped me punch up and get to the level that it was. The same Steve that went to go watch Mark Curry do his whole sitcom and then stole everything Mark Curry had. Now Steve got a sitcom where he the principal and he wear a suit and then he gets this high top fade, making all black men think he got the best lineup in the business, and it's a man unit. Then you ask, why are you not a movie star? I didn't want to be a movie star. This is the same Negro that hated on Bernie with this same thing. I didn't want to be a movie star. No, you couldn't be a movie star. There are 30,000 new scripts in Hollywood every year. Not one of them asks for a country bumpkin black dude that can't talk good old Bukemi and look like Mr. Potato Head. There ain't none. You have to have range. I played a lot of characters, 60 movie roles. I'm not playing Katt Williams in there.
I don't know, Katt. We might not let you drink anymore. The way you. I mean, we ain't even got.
I'm not fueled by alcohol. I've had a sip, less than you. The truth don't need motivation. I'm just saying I can't let these dudes lie. Cedric.
So, I think we got the pretty much gist of that there. I mean. Steve Harvey taking the whole show premise from what's the guy's name again?
Mark Curry.
Mark Curry.
Hanging with Mr. Cooper.
I went back and watched
show?
a good couple of episodes, maybe the first season, and then I went back and watched the first season Steve Harvey show, and god damn.
He did. But see, and I hate to say it, but in Steve Harvey's defense, the reason why that even happened because Mark Curry didn't want to continue his show. They didn't cancel him like that. He said he didn't want to do it. He wanted to go back to his comedic roots. He wanted to do stand-up again. So in a way, Steve Harvey just came in that gap space. He's like, oh, so you ain't gonna do it no more? I'm gonna take what you got and I'm gonna run with it. And
that's true, but he took the whole style and everything.
I mean, but if you look at most TV shows or even movies, they take all that. They just rewrite the script in little areas like the light changes. Instead of him being a gym teacher, he was a music teacher. And then if you peep the first season of Mr. Cooper, he didn't wear suits all the time. He was more casual wear. The suits came later. Next season when he became a teacher, I believe, right? Because he wasn't always a gym teacher.
I believe so.
Yeah, he eventually became something else later. And then he started changing his wardrobe because he had to look the part. So the suits came later. So, but the premise of the show, and then he took certain things from Mr. Cooper because Mr. Cooper, he always had a family. It always focused on the family and his school life. You see what I'm saying? He had a kid, if I'm not mistaken. He had a kid and a wife.
Yeah.
So that the premise of the show is a difference, but he took certain elements of it, right? He took a foundation and he built on it. So, and until a certain extent, that's not all the way stealing. You see what I'm saying? I took a little bit what you had and I made it better.
So you think Katt Williams is over exaggerating?
I believe he's over exaggerating that to a certain extent. Yes, he took a certain level of the premise of the show and then he modified it and he made it his own. So therefore, I can't say the Steve Harvey show is just a complete ripoff of Mr. Cooper, but it did take the foundation of that show and he built what he built on it. You know what I'm saying? And the only reason he could have done that is because of Mark Curry stepping back, saying, "I don't want to do that anymore, and I'm going to do the stand-up." So Steve Harvey came in and he took his slot.
Yeah, so it sounded like it was just an opportunity. That he decided to seize. You hear that, Steve Harvey? Did you see that, Steve Harvey? Hey, I'm just saying we can use some extra dots on the Chicago Black Delegates podcast, man. We look out for you, Steve Harvey. Don't say we ain't look out for you, Steve Harvey. All right. There's plenty of good opportunity to invest in this good old wholesome podcast that's dedicated to the betterment of Chicago's culture. Anyway, but that aside, right? I mean, that's definitely new information for me. I think that's I think that's new information for a lot of people that's watching.
I got to go look it up and see what happened to the Mr. Cooper show. I wanted to know if they canceled him and gave it to Steve Harvey, but it was more him saying he wanted to not do it anymore. So if I believe we would have never got the Steve Harvey show if he never said he didn't want to do it anymore. So to a point, I believe he dropped the ball, and I believe he was mad at himself.
Yeah. Oh, that could be a thing too. But so I'm with that. But for the most part, so let's take a back seat, right? Let's take a step back. I'm sorry. Did y'all have any comments regarding? No. Okay. So let's take a step back for a brief moment, and then kind of take a look at. I want to ask the question of, for those that are aspiring to be like stand-up comedians and stuff like that, because I do recall Bernie Mac, and I'm gonna play the video like right above my head right now, but for those that are aspiring to be stand-up comedians, Bernie Mac said something along the line. If correct me if I'm wrong. If any of y'all have like a better quotable of what he said. Don't perform your best jokes in front of large crowds, because you don't know who's watching. You know, it could be writers, it could be other comedians, it can be a myriad of people that's waiting to steal your joke, and then and run and tell it to a larger crowd so they can profit from it. What's y'all kind of take on that? Is that like kind of a bit like kind of like scare tactic-y? Is it like game? Is it like anti-game? What do y'all think about that?
I think. Hold on, before you start, I just want to clarify one thing. He didn't say didn't use your best jokes in front of large crowds of people. He said don't use your best jokes knowing there's a house full of comedians there.
Okay.
So if you know there's other comedians that, named comedians there, he said do lesser material and don't do your best jokes in front of them, because they will steal your best jokes. He didn't tell you to go underperform, but he said if you know. Okay, so when you go to the Laugh Factory, right?
Let him get us. Yeah, you got it.
Nah. I mean, I agree with that, but only to. I think with the way the times is now, things could get recorded, written down, all stuff like this. It will force you to continuously write new material, and don't be lazy trying to tell the same section of jokes.
Yeah, that's what Kat said. That's what Kat said. He said with that, yeah.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying, and I think it should push you to do that, because back in the day, of course, they're told they have a second of the jokes,
and it lasted 10 years.
Yeah,
because you had to go see them. You know what I'm saying? So you didn't get to hear his fucking joke. Yeah. Like they said, Richard Pryor and them, Red Fox, they can run the same set for 5-6 years. You know what I'm saying? They can run that bitch around the world for a while. Yeah. Because there wasn't a lot of recordings of it. There was no internet. Man. So you can get a lot of source material and let it work for you for a long time. But you are right to a certain extent, but the problem is they're still making money off your best work. You see what I'm saying? If they're bigger than you, they go say your joke like Steve Harvey shit. Oh man, right, you stole that shit from Mark Henry. I mean, you stole it. Steve Harvey, you stole that. Mark Henry stole it from Steve Harvey, but because Steve Harvey's bigger than him, you're gonna see that joke from him before you saw it from Mark Henry. You see what I'm saying? So it's still your work, and the whole thing is, if you're gonna steal something from me, at least buy my shit. At least pay me, then I'll let you go about your day.
That's what Cat Williams did, right?
I mean, Cat Williams don't know. I don't know if he stole people jokes to pay them. No, he pays comedians if he likes your set.
Oh yeah, for sure.
He knows they don't get paid a lot of money.
What they
so
say
he gives them money. You know what I'm saying?
When he likes, okay.
They say he kind of stole JB Smooth.
Yeah, they said it JB Smooth, but he said Smooth stole that from him. I don't fucking know.
Yeah. I don't know.
Because the whole thing with comedians, right? They all kind of travel together. They do tours together. So they see you do your sets. They hear you practice your shit sometimes. Sometimes you run it by them. Hey, bro, help me out. Like he said, Mark Curry help him write the joke better. Yeah. So if you cool with motherfuckers, you're going to talk to him, try to make your joke. And he could have, we don't know who took it, but we only knows who goes on stage first.
Basically, it's almost similar to how we rate how rappers and ghostwriting work, because you got, what's his name, Safari claiming he ghostwrite for Nicki Minaj, but why Nicki Minaj big and you not?
I mean, because he can. Some people, like they say, some people that can't do can only teach.
Yeah,
you see what I'm
he's
saying?
probably not a performer.
He does. He lacks the performer, and he doesn't have delivery.
Imagine if he
has actually delivery. He has good lyrics, but his delivery is trash.
It's a lot more to rapping than just writing.
You gotta have the image.
Charisma is a really tough skill.
Charisma is something else. Like
you can either get it, you can either level it up, or you just won't have it at all.
You can say the coldest bars in the world, and if that motherfucker ain't feeling you,
they feel you. Like, then you like Drake said, "Oh, I'm fucking with it."
Right,
Drake said it.
That's something I always said, man. I said a motherfucker that's not known, they can do some really amazing shit, and nobody be like, and then you have somebody that's famous, and they'll do the same shit, and everybody like, oh my god, that's so that's so amazing, that's so this, so that.
Yeah,
so
true.
it's just like
that's true.
It's his presence and shit. But Steve Harvey stole this man joke, the gas station joke. Did y'all see that one? He stole the gas station joke.
He stole a lot of jokes. Him and the internet went wild on him. They just started bringing up all the shit they stole.
They were the two least funny out the Kings of Comedy. So,
I mean, some people
say pretty funny.
I mean, some people say D.L. Hughley ain't that funny, but I fuck
D.L. Hughley is funny, but his joking only stays about the
white people
disparity between.
That's what I feel like.
That's always been his thing.
And he's not really creative with it.
I'm not too big of a fan of D.L. though.
Bernie was the funniest one, hands down.
Bernie
even stole jokes. They even got Bernie on the Wild one time. Basically, Bernie Mac stole a kid's joke from the Apollo. He did. I saw it with my own fucking eyes, and he did it on the Kings of Comedy. He took his closer. A kid did it on Apollo, I think 96. It was like 96, 97.
A kid?
Yeah, he was this is Apollo. Apollo was teenager. It was junior comedy. And he took his, and I watched it, but he took it word for word. But did he take the whole set? No, but he took his closer. He did. He used his joke as his closer.
Oh shit!
And it's on the King's Comedy. And that hurt my heart. That's Bernie Mac. That's my nigga. I love Bernie. That's my nigga. But he definitely stole that little nigga's joke
for sure. So
he's famous. He's not. That's exactly right. So it's like if I tell it, I'm famous. You know what I'm saying?
They say, but if they do the research, he did it in 96. You did it in like 2001 or 2003. So he beat you to the punch.
Yeah.
Damn.
So I wouldn't say, despite all of the joke stealing and all that stuff, and I mean, to be honest, obviously it doesn't limit itself to just jokes. There's like entertainment in general, like people just kind of be
they steal,
stealing from each other. It's just kind of that's just part of entertainment. It's about who can deliver whatever's being presented the best a lot of the time, unfortunately, and the timing and all of that stuff. You know what
I'm saying, instead of looking at it like stealing, can we look at it like admiration? You know what I'm saying?
I mean, you can if you shot a motherfucker out. Like when they asked about that joke, you supposed to say, "Yeah, I got it from the young boy."
Borrowed it.
Talk shit like so I took the setup from such, but I tell it better and play for competitive nature amongst each other.
So all that to say, I don't think. I mean, and let's not even start on like things like TikTok. Black people are creating dances.
Yes.
Black people are doing like a lot of trendy new things on things like TikTok.
And it's getting
then other coaches are coming in and
getting more
and they repurposing it and they profiting from it. You gotta.
I mean, I was about to say the same thing. The problem is that you stealing my shit. You making my money. It's you gonna steal something from me. You gotta cut me in. Goddamn it.
Something.
If you want to wrong, but how does that work though? So if you're doing something and you doing it for a certain amount of time, and you make, let's say, what's something stupid I could do? Let's say you make $10 every time you do a dance on TikTok, and then I see you do it, and I be like, okay, I'm gonna do it, but now I'm making $30. Well, then my problem, you fucking suck.
It's not that I don't.
I don't think it's sucking. It's
the algorithm, right? So this is
right.
This is what TikTok does. They lessen the algorithm. This is what black creators tell me. I don't know this, but they say they shadow ban them once they start to kind of get a little wave. They'll shadow ban them, and then they will push the white counterpart on the video and pay the white person versus give it to the black creator.
No. I get so okay. Well, if we take this back to race,
I mean, I'm just telling you.
We will be back and forth with that. I'm talking about just off the acting itself.
You think black people suck in comparison to whites?
We finna go to a whole other day.
You just said that though. You just said
I was
you
trying
said
to.
It ain't their fault they suck.
I was trying to teach in the acting of itself.
Okay.
Not listen.
It's not. It's no.
Listen here, you goddamn FBA bastards.
I just said, black people, we do a lot of amazing shit. I don't see us sucking at too much of anything.
And no other race does. I got you.
I ain't saying
black
that
superiority.
Now.
Got you. Listen,
I ain't saying that now.
That's exactly what FBA goes with.
That now.
But
you I didn't say that.
I'm talking about the activists. Okay. 2 black people, stay here, right?
Okay.
Let's say you came up with, I don't know, a martial art move, right? You do your thing, you get paid for it. I take that move and perfect it.
No, you didn't perfect it. You just did the same move, but you reached it with a lot of origin.
Okay, now hold on. Wait. Now, what you saying is fine. I hear what you're saying. But when me and you had the disparity when it comes to Madam C.J. Walker, the thieving bitch that took somebody else's fucking shit and claimed it was hers, you was all, right? Oh my God, it's not the same. She took it and perfected it so it makes it hers.
Hold on.
Now you're taking a whole different stance.
No, stop. But you know what I'm saying, though, if you change the dance move, right? Say you take my base to the dance move, then you add your own to the dance and make a whole new dance, then it's yours. You made a new substance. You made something new. So like I said with the Madam C.J. Walker, the woman had a product, but it wasn't working well. So therefore, she manipulated the product, made the product better, therefore created a new substance.
You can say the same thing with dancing.
But they're not doing that, though. The white people are doing the exact same dance, though.
If you take dancing and you're going like this, and I'm going like this, I'm still doing your shit. I just put a little swave to it.
Can I ask you a question? Probably besides rock and roll and maybe breakdancing.
But no, niggas made rock and roll too.
No, I'm saying probably besides rock and roll and breakdancing. What have people took from black people and actually made it better? I like rock and roll. Oh shit, I gotta go.
You gotta
go. But that's the question.
Okay. All right, Mr. Hollywood.
All right, bro.
Look, and on the phone walking out. Oh my God.
He said he was gone. You fucking up. I told you fucking up. You yelling too loud. He said he was gone. I'm talking about. I'm saying you yelling too loud for him on the phone.
It's live.
I don't know if she watched it. We don't know if she watching it live.
It's gonna be on YouTube. She can look back at it. What the fuck?
I'll kill you. Y'all niggas stupid. But yeah. So again, to try to get back to the point I was trying to close out with, because I was worried about something like that happening. And I'm gonna keep this in. I'm keeping this in. Pete, the word gonna see this one. Margaret's trying to code for you, real. Margaret's trying to do it. But like I said, all this to say, like, all the stealing that's going on, like, you know, white folks coming in, and, you know, nothing against white people, by the way, but these other nations of people coming in and stealing our swag, right, and then repurposing it and selling it because they know how and when to sell things better than us, right? Still, don't get discouraged. If you truly believe you have something great in your head, and you want to express it, and you think it's gonna like truly change things and make things change the culture, like whatever. You think you got $1 million idea, what you want to call it, man? Don't be afraid to put it out there. In my opinion, right?
I mean, you put it out there, but
just try to just understand the market, just understand the time a little bit better, and then try to your best to profit from it the best you can. And I would maybe even throw out a couple of patents or something. You got something to add?
No, I'm just saying you can put it out there. I'm just saying, but just protect your ideas when you put it out there. Just don't put it out there.
100%.
You know what I'm saying? Just protect your shit.
You gotta just say you agree with me sometimes, man. You be killing me, man. All right. All right, it's been Chicago Black Day Education Podcast. We're gonna take like a 5-minute one. Appreciate y'all for sticking with us. Okay, so I'm basically so you. I got a new job for you. You're gonna just
we gonna break?
Yeah, we're gonna let 5-10 minute break a little bit. Well, I'll wait for him to come back. So Reese. So your new job is gonna be pretty simple.
What are we about to talk about now?
The interracial shit. Cause I know he wanted to talk about it, but there's gonna be a part 2 to it, so we're gonna get to that another time. So this is gonna be the last video. It's like the video, the section itself is like 7 minutes, and we don't have to be long-winded in all these videos. Like every video we got to this point is like fucking like 40 minutes, 40-minute recordings. I really got as much to say about it. I really don't give a fuck about people with it. I mean, you're gonna have something to say after he said something. That's kind of, you kind of know how y'all can operate. But so yeah, no, I'm still thinking about you a little bit. So yeah, I mean, shit. Whole time, Reese, all you're gonna do is like hit play, and then when it gets 14 like you see where this indentation is right here, this space right here. Let me make sure. Actually, shit, I think this is a big one. Okay, nah, 9. Yeah, this is like a big thing. Starts at 9:04. Okay, so I'm gonna write this shit down, and then cause I'm gonna write some timestamps down. That's basically that's what's going on here. I'm gonna write the timestamps down, and then when it reaches the end of the timestamp, you're just gonna hit the pause button, and then I'm gonna tell you when to play it again, when to start playing it again. What time do you gotta leave, King?
I ain't got to present a time. I was supposed to be hanging out with Nikki. That's all.
Oh, okay. Yeah, this probably is like we trying to make this. Let's try to make it like 15 minutes, something like that. It is kind of cut and dry, and I just want to put something out there because it is, like I said, it is a really important topic. You feel me? Oh, we got time now. It's just we got time now. It's all good. Nobody got an objection. 9042.
That's funny.
Then we go from 9.
Oh shit, King! They put Eddie Gordon back in Tekken. Oh, you back? Yeah. That's good. I'm ready to see Steve.
Okay, now back to our interview. So, you say it's all for Sonic. But Sonic doesn't have the strength to crack the smash ball at the rate that he does.
I think it's just his hitbox, because he does his little spin move.
Okay, but what about your hitbox? When you do the spin move going down into it.
You're gonna start with where it is.
That's some bullshit. Dude, that's some bullshit, right?
Like you said, more people there, the harder it is to get it. So my shit considered a tap, your shit considered a tap. He does it.
You're gonna start at 9:04 and
Some bullshit.
I do that shit too. Everybody just cut on the struck ties.
So it's kind of just cut and dry.
Fine.
So all you're just gonna be watching the time go on the video, and then hit pause when it's time to hit pause. Make sense? Yeah, you can be sitting right here, and then you just gotta pause the video when it tells you to pause. This one is kind of more complicated. But yeah, I still need you to like do this. Somebody had a question too. Ooh, so I want to ask, Ken, you be turning your head too a lot, and then the microphone be kind of away from your mouth.
Yeah, I noticed that. That's why I can.
All right, well, hit microphone. All right, I never saw that before.
I know.
I probably need some shoes.
It's like Vlad coming from behind the camera, man. You got Vlad out here today.
I want to ask one of my homeboys questions here. Well, first of all, my guy said he thinks white people dance better. LOL, LOL. He was talking to you. I'm sorry, I'm turning my head. Yeah.
You think white people dance better?
No, you said that you think white people dance better than black people.
No.
All right, okay. That you hear that, Charlamagne? No. So Chuckle Man, that's. But Chuckle Man asks, what does this guy say? So we want government programs. He says, so we want government programs, parks, or housing assistance. Dude said we're keeping us in prison in the system. What's keeping us from stepping out of this government assistance bullshit? Which I'll take on.
Acceptance and accountability.
Acceptance and accountability, huh? What do we need to be accepting? What do we need to be accepting of that we aren't accepting of already?
We got to be accepting of the fact that we propagate a negative stereotype on our own culture by the things that we involve ourselves in.
Okay. So I would say the bad apples, right? There's a population of bad apples that's essentially not progressing towards essentially a productivity that they're not trying to pitch in. They're too busy trying to rob, kill, and steal, destroy, hurt black women, like the whole nine. Yes, we can say that those people exist. They exist for I would argue they exist for a reason, but they do exist. King, did you get the question?
Yeah, I got the question, but I mean, Rob right to a certain extent, but that's kind of hard to do because it's the environments those people were made under, and those. I mean, you get what you're made around. I mean, if we don't want these people to be like that, we shouldn't create these type of environments for them to become like that. So you have to try to change the environment to get like better results.
The cost.
Okay, so you're right to a certain extent, but how do you explain? And bear with me. Have you ever been to? Well, I'm pretty sure you have. You went to the high school you went to, and then some of the parties we used to go to in high school. But we've been to Hispanic neighborhoods that are just as bad as the black neighborhoods, right?
I mean, Mexican neighborhoods is kind of not really that bad. They do crime right, but they don't shoot. Huh?
You don't live there.
I mean, I did when I did live there. I lived in Damascus. What are you talking about? I lived on the Mexican side. That was the Mexican side. Your side was the black side. My side was the Mexican side.
You lived on the edge.
What you mean? I mean, bro, that whole side was pretty predominantly Mexicans.
Well, we always say that it's the environment that contributes to the degeneracy and delinquency of our people, right? And to some degree, yeah. But when you go to Hispanic neighborhoods that are bad, when you go to the bad part of Asian neighborhoods that are bad, even in the worst of situations, they come together. Like a lot of Hispanic houses over there, their whole families live together and work together and use each other's resources to build and propagate a home for themselves. Black people don't really move like that.
But you gotta understand the cause to that, right? Our housing, our family dynamics is totally different than theirs. They still have their fathers in their life. They still have a 2-parent house.
Not a lot of the time.
Most Mexican, let me explain. Most Hispanics I knew still had a father.
No. Most Hispanic families have a male figure in their life. Not always a father in their life because they work together as
I get what you said because they got the uncle. They got uncle because they always still live together. So if you lose a male, somebody's there still in the house to step up. I get you. I get what you're saying. You're right. Let me explain. So you're right. They still have a male figure that can fill in that gap of that teaching and still guide you. Black people, on the other hand, we stopped doing the living together type thing. You know what I'm saying? I believe the difference between black people and Mexicans and other ethnicity in this group, right? Black people have a level of sense of entitlement to a certain extent, right? We feel that we was persecuted in this country worse than any other ethnicity group to a certain extent next to the Native Americans. Okay. So we believe that we supposed to get certain things and we don't supposed to have to do what they had to do to a certain extent because we already did it. It's like, we already paid our dues, so it's time for us to, get what we supposed to be rewarded. And this is why you have white people say black people just begging. It's not that, we're begging. It's just we paid our dues. Like, all these other dudes ain't paid their dues yet, but y'all giving them shit. Y'all looking out for them. You see what I'm saying? Uh-huh. So our level of sense of entitlement is why we're kind of in a place where, we don't choose to live with each other no more. We always talking about kicking kids out at 16, 17 and dumb shit like that. Mexicans, Indian people, Arab people, they let their children live there as long as they fucking see fit till they find out you ready to get the fuck on. Only black people say, hey, you got to get the fuck up out of here. You see what I'm saying? And I think that's our problem. Like, we're always trying to force us into the world and just say, figure that shit out like how we figured it out.
I have noticed that.
You know what I'm saying? That's a difference.
I have noticed.
You know what I'm saying? And I think that comes from that whole thing back in the 50s and 40s because we used to be like that. We used to look out for each other. We all came from grandmas. We used to have 10 kids over there. Everybody sleeping at grandma's crib. That used to be a thing. And I think black people just got to a point where they were kind of tired of that narrative, and they got this level of sense of entitlement because you had the ones that succeeded, then you had the ones that didn't. So they started that put this level of looking down on people, and we got that shit bad. That we really do. Everybody else don't really do that to their people to a certain extent. They help them. Like, I'm going to help you. We like to look at you and say, you just need to work harder. You need to do this, do that, instead of helping the motherfucker. Yeah. You see what I'm saying? Everybody else, they helps you. Like, when I used to hang out with Arabs.
I got you. I got you. You keep with these examples, bro. You got a lot of examples to prove your points. But was
let them cook. Let them cook. No, they'll just that.
Okay, so like I have to cut you off right there because we have to get back to the question.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah.
Because from what I'm understanding about what you're saying, Keem, is this is one of the Caleb Conjure here brought up the point of what needs to be achieved in order for us to get off of government assistance, right? That's what the question was about. So and so your response to him was
change the environment.
Say it again.
Change the environment.
Change the environment, and then we'll be able to, and then we'll kick away from this
government system.
From this, not this government system, but we'll kick off the entitlement, and we'll be able to essentially get how should I put it? When we lose this sense of entitlement, it'll put us in a mindset of, okay, now it's time for us to build for ourselves. Now it's time to lift ourselves up by the bootstraps. Now it's time for us to participate in group economics. You know what I'm saying? So then that will be the thing necessary in order for us to essentially get off this government system. Is there a problem with what I just said?
No. I mean, then black people also got to get used to not letting people use reverse racism on them. Like, white people say all the time, if I said I only support white businesses, or I'd be a racist. Like, no, bro, we say support black businesses because there ain't no fucking black businesses, and we said there's only a little, so our money should go to those very few restaurants. When you say support right businesses, they're everywhere. You can't help but support a white business. I mean, y'all own everything damn near. You know what I'm saying? You can't not support a white business to a certain extent.
Yeah. You like this boy thinking, boy. Okay.
No. But I try to listen before I say.
Okay.
But nah, he's
so,
right.
So there is a lot. How do I put this? Can you repeat the first sentence you said? Do you remember? Like black people got somebody supporting.
I mean, black people got to stop letting white people use reverse racism.
Reverse racism. Okay. Just because we want to support black businesses and white people trying to call us racist for want to support black business, like, yeah, I agree with everything he said. The only thing I would add to that is this is an attack on blackness. Any white person that tries to tell us hey, y'all not supposed to be supporting black business, y'all should support all business. We're all Americans. No, that is an attack on you. That's an attack on all of us as a culture. These people are trying to forget about all of the cause, right, and just focus directly on the effect. That's the same type of person. Those are the type of people that want to pretend that they don't see color, knowing damn well color has been like the main focal point of this nation's fundamental beginnings or genesis, foundationally. You feel me? When, from the get go, these pilgrims land on America. They wiped out those Native Americans. Anybody that wasn't in alignment with those Europeans, they wiped their ass out. And then here comes the black people to give them 400 years of free labor. You know what I'm saying? Like, no, racism has been, or color has been embedded in this nation's roots from the beginning, and we can't pretend like how do I put this? We can't just push that aside when it's time for black people to start doing things that's best for ourselves. So don't let anybody try to run that reverse racism game on you. Again, that's a way that's a trick. That's tricknology. That's that trick bag nonsense that they try to run on us. So I don't think we have any closing statements.
I'm good.
Okay, so all right, so we how should I open this up? All right, so what's up, Chicago Black Day? I might be fucking racing and be trying to go from one topic to the next. What's up, everybody? Chicago Black Delegation Podcast. So we got a little bit different of a setup here. I'm sitting in the middle. We only got 3 people running today, but that don't matter though. So we still got some good content we want to react to. Right now we got a guy goes by the name of FD Signifier. He is I would say the kind of the head honcho of the leftist space on YouTube right now. The guys is kind of leading the fight on putting socialism forward in YouTube area and everything like that. And for the most part, he says a lot of things that I may not agree with to certain extent. Some things I would probably argue is somewhat anti-black, but at the same time, if there's nothing else, but I would say that I do agree with him more than I would disagree with him. Fact of the matter is, he knows a whole lot about Black history, and and anybody can learn a lot from his videos. So here we got a video that's all about interracial dating and its impact on Black culture as we know it. So go ahead, hit that video, bro. Matter of fact, yeah, make supersize it too.
In slavery, black men and women were viewed as subhuman property, as well as hypersexual and animalistic. Our body parts were at times literally dissected and put on display in museums, and our humanity and autonomy was persistently violated, with women being the main target of sexual violence by white slave masters and overseers, often producing biracial children who would then become the legal property of their white fathers. That said, black men were not safe from sexual violence either. Awful homophobic faux documentaries notwithstanding, the practice of sexual torture and humiliation of black male slaves, often referred to as buck breaking, was enacted upon black male slaves by both male and female masters alike. So no black body was safe during slavery. Yet, stories then and now about love affairs between slaves and whites.
Consider that New Year's resolutions are not the answer for you this year. You need real solutions, and therapy can help with that. As a therapist, I see this
conversation about slavery and
most people have no clue that in 2023 the best way to make money on Amazon is not with physical products. It's Amazon's other company, Audible. Audible pays me $8,000 to $10,000 every single month in passive income, and I'm not the only one. People like Katrina and Carla, Elena, Renee, all making thousands of dollars a month in passive income using the same system.
I do this on a part-time basis of 5 to.
In slavery, black men and women were viewed as subhuman property, as well as hypersexual and animalistic. Our body parts were at times literally dissected and put on display in museums, and our humanity and autonomy was persistently violated, with women being the main target of sexual violence by white slave masters and overseers, often producing biracial children who would then become the legal property of their white fathers. That said, black men were not safe from sexual violence either. Awful homophobic faux documentaries notwithstanding, the practice of sexual torture and humiliation of black male slaves, often referred to as buck breaking, was enacted upon black male slaves by both male and female masters alike. So no black body was safe during slavery. Yet, stories then and now about love affairs between slaves and whites are not rare. These stories often attempt to depict these love affairs as consensual and two-sided, rarely downplaying the obvious power imbalance between a black slave and a white slave owner. But the reality is that even if it wasn't an overt act of physical violence, any intimate contact between a slave and an owner was an act of assault, as these slaves literally had no right to bodily autonomy, thus they could not consent.
So I'm gonna ask you guys a question based on what he just said, and mostly I want to know because I really want to know the extent of y'all research regarding this. Based on what you heard, right? Could slaves consent given the circumstances?
No, there's property. Yeah, there's property.
No. Okay, so you would say that so you don't think there was a case where a black woman or slave, obviously a slave, right, didn't genuinely fall in love with a white slave owner?
I can see that happen amongst with the children.
Syndrome? Oh, that's Stockholm syndrome.
Isn't it?
That's exactly, yeah. That's
okay.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Okay.
Yeah, maybe there could be cases of that. I'm pretty sure Stockholm syndrome was nothing new. It should have been going on like forever. But
damn.
Yeah.
So what? So a slave just couldn't just legitimately fall in love with a.
I mean, would you fall with somebody that's oppressing you?
I mean, I shouldn't. I mean, I wouldn't. But like, I mean, the heart. You know how the heart does what the heart.
I mean, I'm just saying that's somebody that beats your mother and your father, belittles them, but you choose to love them.
So, all right. So that's
all right. Hey, the technician doesn't talk.
Technician don't talk. I ain't gonna lie to you. Sign language. But yeah, my answer was like arguably. I would say arguably, right? I would say I'm using the term arguably very, very loosely, and I'm not going to argue it. Arguably, I would say they can fall in love with their slave master, but I mean, it was prohibited to do that.
Is it like real love, though? I mean,
I don't know.
Did the woman fall in love for self-preservation because she tried not to get her ass beat?
You asking the wrong dude.
I guess.
Yeah, that falls on people's perception of how.
Like, because people forget. Black men or slaves, they did use the black woman to help manipulate master. They knew that he liked, that was a form, but they didn't like doing that shit. That was just to help everybody else fuck out. So he wouldn't get fucking ass beat today, or raped, or shot today. Like, if he liked you so much, but they used that, to manipulate him, they wore him a little bit, you know what I'm saying, to help manipulate. They actually said that's how they got certain laws passed in the 60s. They used black women to manipulate white politicians, and that was that was actually a skill. Like they sent the black women to certain ones to manipulate certain white politicians because they knew they had a thing for colored women.
Those radical Republicans is what they call them. They fell in love with black mistresses, right? And then they made way for some black.
And I don't think those black women wanted to do that, but they did it for the better good of the people.
And we appreciate those women. Yeah, go ahead.
The most well-known example of this mythology.
Wait. We appreciate the black women that chose to be, it's going to sound terrible, prostitutes for the better good of the people.
Damn right I did, yep. If you want to call them that, but I didn't call them prostitutes. I called them warriors. They were warriors. They were soldiers. We sent them behind many enemy lines to get a job done, and they got that shit done. That's why they say you need something to do. You go send a goddamn black woman to do it. They gonna get that shit done.
They did get that shit done. I'm just saying, black women are queens. I swear to God.
I mean, so we just that's out.
It's tough. No, it's really tough. I mean, that was warfare. That's how bad it was back then. That like you have to really consider how shitty of a situation it was back then. These people had no numbers. They had no weapons. They weren't even treated as humans.
Okay, so
they had to use they had to come at them like they was puppies.
So to piggyback off that, so if a black woman takes it upon herself to go into a field that's not respectable and use the money to support black businesses or a black community, that woman is respected. That's what y'all saying.
I see you try to loophole it to make it something.
That's not a loophole.
Yeah, no, I know what you try to do. You know what I'm saying?
That's not a loophole.
Let me explain, right? I'm saying those black women respected because they had to use their bodies and their ability to woo men, white men, to make sure that we had better laws and foundation for black people moving forward.
Okay, hold on.
You know what I'm saying?
I got that part.
Okay, but see,
I don't disagree. Mm-hmm. But if you take the times now, we are. According to Dr. Umar Johnson, shout out to Dr. Umar Johnson, but I disagree on this one point that we are worse now than we were then.
Economically, we are.
We are systemic under a systemic system. Mm-hmm. We are oppressed, which is I argue with that too, but whatever. I'm gonna go with that notion. We are oppressed, and we have black women that take part in sex work, who take their money, who are making $10,000-$20,000 a month, into black businesses and into our black culture. Are those women respected? The ones that go into Pornhub and OnlyFans and stuff like that.
I don't think we making it. Are you making a statement? Are you making an argument about being respected?
I'm not. I'm just saying what they did for the cause. See, you're going down to the lowest. No, let me explain.
Using your body.
Hold on.
With sex.
He understands what you're
saying. I understand what you're saying. No, I understand what you're saying. To a point of view, you're right? But would they be as well respected as the people that actually got laws and certain things passed for us? No, they won't.
They're not doing it now.
I mean, if they're doing it, then do thumbs up to them. Keep the hard work and keep sucking dick. I appreciate you. But I'm saying. I'm just saying. I don't think they're doing that. But I'm just saying, if they're doing that, then they're doing. I mean, if that's their purpose in life, to say I'm gonna do the hard job so we can, as black people, to benefit as a whole. Then, hey, I take my hats off to them. But most of them not doing the hard job to give back to back business. They're just lazy and they want to make money off their sexual prowess. These women weren't lazy. These women strategically sent to certain politicians to achieve a greater good for black people. So I'm saying you're conflating those women with prostitutes, and these women were technically not
using your body for monetary gain. It's basically prostitutes.
Yeah.
And then you have to ask yourself, who do you respect more? The woman that took the hard road, like I don't know if I want to say Rosa Parks, but we'll say Rosa Parks.
She's a bad example. Get somebody else.
Oh, okay, good point.
The woman she was modeled after?
Yes. The woman she was modeled after, yes.
Okay.
Rosa Parks.
Yeah. Someone like that who might have got into the political field, who marched with Martin Luther King, who did her work, or the woman that went behind enemy lines, took a couple of white cocks, and then got some laws changed. Who you respect more?
I don't think it's about we respect more. I respect both of them. I don't think it's a more greater in that they both had to do something that was difficult to achieve a greater good.
Okay, so if you take a woman of these times who is, let's say she is, taking her money into black communities, changing laws, stuff like this, do prostitution work, or someone that's taking the political role, speaking on the panel, going up to Congress, question B, who do you respect more?
I would respect the person who gets the more leeway. Like, not leeway, but who gets more done. So if that person that's doing the prostitution and she getting more laws passed than the person that's actually doing the hard way, I would have to say, your way ain't working. You need to go start sucking some dick.
This is going to be one hell of an episode, cuz.
But I'm just saying, that's if that was happening like that.
Canceled.
No, it's okay. We either going to get canceled or we're going to be millionaires. Nah, but jokes aside, though, as far as I'm concerned, man, like, all is fair in love and war. I hate that.
Anything in war is about results. It's about positive results. Don't matter how we had to get them bitches, it's about positive results. And results matter. Good results.
All is fair in love and war, man. This situation fell upon us, and we would have loved it done it the right way. We would love to have done it, gotten everything done like what's the word? Meritocracy involved with like fair dealings and stuff like that. But just there was no fair dealings in a time like that. And and people will argue there's very little fair dealings today. So some people argue that it's okay to go out their way and and participate in some degeneracy in order to gain some results. I mean, to be fair with you, there's a lot of other communities. I'm not gonna say any specific names, but there's other nations. Arguably, every nation has benefited from degeneracy. And if you want to start drawing lines about what's too degenerate, then that's up to you. Yeah, that's up to you. But as far as these women, I mean, I hate to say it, but they did a lot and they sacrificed. But it's good that they didn't sacrifice something that we couldn't have turned into some sort of a tangible gain, right? So let's go ahead and get to the rest of this video. Gotta stop.
It can be found in the story of Thomas Jefferson and Sally Heming. If you allow pop culture and TV to tell it, Sally Heming was a beautiful young biracial slave who beguiled Thomas Jefferson so much that they had a decades-long affair which produced multiple children. This relationship has been depicted in media multiple times, and in pretty much every case, it's implied that Hemings and Jefferson were in love, and that Hemings was more than a willing participant in this affair, and that Jefferson was torn between his heart and his duty as one of America's founding fathers. This, of course, is a pretty awful bleaching of the real history involved here. First and foremost, Hemings was technically the half-sister of Jefferson's wife, Martha Hemings, a product of the rape of Hemings' mother by English Captain John Hemings. Sally remained the property of that family in Virginia until she was 14, when she then accompanied Jefferson's daughter, also named Martha, to Paris, where Jefferson spent several years. That is where she began her romance with Jefferson, who at the time was 44. Hemings would have her first child in Paris at 16 and sire more children over the course of this relationship with Jefferson. Hemings had the opportunity to be free in Paris, but agreed to stay with Jefferson due to her children technically being his property, and thus accompanied him back to Virginia. Ironically, even this romanticized, bleached version of the story was never told for a long time, considered unfounded rumors. It took generations to first have this relationship be acknowledged by many historians, and even then the black descendants of Thomas Jefferson were often excluded from his legacy until relatively recently. This was the reality of love affairs between slaves and slave masters during slavery. And after slavery ended, a slew of legal practices and not so legal social and cultural norms were put in place to maintain a rigid social hierarchy with black people at the bottom. The goal of most of these practices was to make it pretty much impossible for anyone black to be able to vote, own land, or hold certain licenses that might allow them to increase their lot in life. And as a result, black folks often set out to create and build communities amongst themselves where these laws and these barriers were not in place. Due to this separation, rarely was the issue of race mixing a legitimate thing to worry about outside of a few isolated incidents. And this was because it was explicitly illegal, and not just illegal, but also basically punishable by death by way of mob violence. Lynchings, riots, and acts of white terrorism were the ever-present threat to black people who stepped out of line, especially black men who were mythologized as these insatiable sexual fiends who craved white flesh. It's important to remember that black people were never intended to be full participants in American society. It took another century, a full 100 years to have it written into law that black people should be fully protected under the law by way of voting rights, anti-lynching laws, and anti-discrimination laws, etc., because of the Civil Rights Bill of 1966. But even then, miscegenation or interracial relationships were still explicitly illegal until 1968. Anti-miscegenation laws were in place for the purpose of maintaining that hierarchy, to give a white monopoly on property rights so that the state could literally dissuade and punish the few white men who did want to take black women as wives and share their wealth and resources with them, which might create a situation down the line where black people might have legal rights to land ownership and capital that was expected to be permanently possessed by white people. The issue has never been about love, but about power and the role that racism plays in maintaining power. The core conflict of black people in interracial couplings is the same as the core problem of pretty much everything involving black people, which is
he makes a pretty good point here. A really, really big point here. As a matter of fact, he made the exact same point Dr. Umar Johnson made, except way more. He made it a way more eloquently. He expressed it way more coherently and less offensive. So big props for FD Signify for that. So he makes the case that these white lawmakers, right, made it illegal for a black person and a white person to marry because they were aware of the exchange of wealth that would have partaken in the event of their matrimony, right? So, let me see here. So essentially, like, how do you feel about that I guess that defense, that chess move that those whites created, right?
I mean, it's a good move. That's what I would do if I was in power. But sucks for the person on the other end. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I agree. That's all it really is. It's chess.
Chess, not checkers. And I know, and this is just the so when Dr. Umar says when he criticizes people like Kobe Bryant, right, for marrying outside of his race, due to the reasons of the exchange of wealth that happens in the black from the black community back to whatever community it is. Like I said, it's not just white people, because like I said, there's passport bros that go across seas and take the money not just from not just from the black community, but America as a whole. So that money doesn't even circulate in America anymore, and takes it to the Philippines and stuff like that. And they love it. And they kiss that they love that dude Dirty Jobs for that. You feel me? As a matter of fact, just a quick example, they'll move like they entire. I've heard examples of of black men that go over there, and the white men, like, they move half the family into the homes that man creates for that family, you know.
Yeah, that
is true.
I agree with Dr. Umar Johnson with
the economic
problem, economic side with interracial dating. 100%. Even though I don't agree with him with the whole, I don't respect some. You can't help who you like.
That's what I said. You can't help that
really
shit, bro.
Like, you know, if you in the black community and you awkward, you weird, you know, the girls ain't really feeling you, and then you got some, I don't know, some Thailand chick that.
So all white women. Yeah, that shit happens, and you gotta blame the white women. I mean, you gotta blame the black women for that because they only like a certain type of men. I'm sorry, but they really only like a certain type of men, and that's their fault. And then they get mad when the problem is they get mad once that fruit started to bear real fruit. Oh, I didn't know you was gonna be a fucking millionaire. Hey, that's not my fucking fault. You didn't want to believe in a nigga because I watched cartoons. I was nerdy, so you didn't like me because you didn't like me for my core values. You only like me because I have money, and then you're mad that I'm spending my money with a person that's non-black. But that non-black person, she liked me when I was broke, when I was just an idea in my mind of what I wanted to do.
Now I have to offer a counter argument to that. We also have to take into account that there's a culture that's been created, right? Whether it's been from the dominant societies, more dominant cultures, not just white people, but as well as the black people, the black men that participate in the culture that respond to the black women, that respond to the black men, that respond to the black women. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. This is a clog, right? That's been going in circles and circles and circles, and everybody is jumping into the whirlpool and not trying to make any sorts of strides of stopping it. It's not, in my opinion, right? Mm-hmm. I don't know what came first, the chicken or the fucking egg, right?
Okay.
But
I mean, the egg. You can't get the chicken without the egg.
All right.
I mean,
I feel you. I don't know who the egg is, nigga. That's what you're saying. Whoever the fuck the egg is in this situation, whoever the egg is in this situation is the cause of it. And I don't know who did that, but the onus is on us to find out how to stop this. What's the metaphor here? To stop this thing from
a cycle.
To stop the cycle from spinning, right? So I mean, and I only say that speak. I'm not saying that to you. Mm-hmm. I'm speaking to the audience because that's like a lot of the men and women. A lot of the men are blaming the women, right? And a lot of women are blaming the men. And this is the only answer that's gonna stop this this gear from perpetuating, from cycling, from keeping the cycle going. We have, in my opinion, right, we have to do a little bit less of blaming each other and do a little bit more of shaking each other's hands and coming to solutions, in my opinion.
No, I agree, but women control the market.
That's what I'm saying. I was about to say that shit too. It's
women
all
control
really up
the
to
market. Like men are natural problem solvers. So
please explain the market just very briefly for the people.
Okay, guys.
What's the market?
Keep it short. When it comes to dating, women control the market.
Okay.
And remember, you had this conversation.
I think
before.
we all get it now. Yeah. We get it now. Go. Please continue. Now, I just want people to know what the sexual marketplace is.
Yeah.
That's what she means.
So we had this conversation before. Like, if they got people like grew up like me versus grew up like you, like, in all hindsight, people like you that grew up the way you did should get all the women. Period. Y'all nice, you're kind, you're respectful, you're mindful, you respect your parents, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. But the women don't go for that. They go for the fucking dickheads and delinquents and degenerates. You get good grades, you man for respectful, you open a door for girls, oh, thank you. You're a good friend. I'll rob a car, knock a nigga out. Oh, my God. Ooh, I'm finna get that. Like, what the hell? That's stupid.
I understand. Agree?
Oh, yeah, I agree. I completely agree. Like Rob said, they control the market, right? I literally tell you this all the time, right? If the world really wants to change and they want, like, if black men wants to change, it will have to start with our women because men follow what women want. So if black women say they don't like thugs and gangster ass niggas and this, that, and the third, niggas won't be it.
Yeah.
If you say you want a nigga to be smart, this to the third, and all you women abide by this fundamental fucking law, I guarantee you all black men will start to follow that fucking law.
I'm trying to tell
because we, at the end of the day, It's always about, in this world, it's about money and pussy. That's what niggas wake up for.
Follow the money, follow the pussy.
You know what I'm saying? That's literally, that's what it's always been about. So if if black women want this type of man and this six-figureness and all this other shit, you have to demand that from all women, like this type of standard of high, excellent men. And then black men will try to follow that. But they know you don't really want that. You like the loud, ignorant motherfucker, the dude that disrespects you, this, that, and the third, and goes upside your head. Y'all, some of y'all say y'all don't, but y'all always seem to be with that type of guy. So therefore, you like that shit. I'm sorry, but that's just what it is. You like that shit.
All right. Yeah. So, okay. So, the counter argument, what's the word? The prevailing argument, no, let me try it again. The prevailing counter argument to that, Savage, is men create the culture. Right?
No, we don't. No, we don't. Women
so
do.
That's like let me further explain it. Men create the culture by way of capitalism. Men had the most access, or the best access to capitalism. Period. And I'd argue that even though we're talking about black people specifically, black men are still outpacing women as far as monetary gain. It might change in 20 years, and I don't know what the heck is going to happen to the culture when women is out, when the women that are economically surpassing the black men, right?
They're gonna look down on you.
Huh?
They're gonna look down on you.
They unless we do something now to change their mentalities. But that's another can of worms.
Yeah.
That's another can of worms. What I'm saying here is, up until this point, black men are the best rappers, right? Black men are creating a lot of dances. I don't know if it's the most dances, but black men are creating a lot of dances. Black men are creating these clubs. You know what I'm saying? A lot of us are making a lot of money off of black culture.
Well, black people don't own clubs. Huh? White people own clubs.
Okay. So I'm just saying, of the two, black men own more clubs than black women. Unless you know, I could be wrong about that, but that's my other point. The musics, the song, the club bangs.
I mean, we dominate entertainment.
We dominate entertainment, and that thus gives us the heads up on over black women of the crafting of the culture. You know what I'm saying? So with that said, all these the ratchetness and all that stuff, the songs that men create for women to shake their ass, even though women love shaking their ass to it, they love doing that. I'm sorry, ladies, I had to be honest. Y'all, they love shaking their ass to that shit. But the fact remains is men created those songs to make money in a capitalistic system that's obviously created by people out that want the demise of us. That's why that's pretty much what these women are trying to say. And again, you can easily say, well, how come women just don't stop shaking their ass to that shit? I get that, and that's a fact. That's.
I mean, it's that simple. You answered your question.
That is true, but at the same time, those women can also just say, well, them niggas need to stop they taking advantage of us. They know what we like. It's that's what you're gonna have to contest with.
I mean, that's counterproductive.
What's wrong? Okay.
But that's counterproductive. I mean, we're not taking advantage of you. I mean, if we made something different, you wouldn't like it. I mean, I'm sorry, but the whole thing is, if you didn't want it to stop consuming the product. That's just that simple. If you want something to stop consuming it, and then it will go quietly into the dark.
That's a tough argument to beat. I still, like I said, so that's all we're gonna. That's as far as I'm gonna go as far as that counter argument and stuff like that. They say we create the culture and they respond to the culture.
I mean,
they have full. They can at any time they can stop participating.
I mean, yeah. I mean, you're right. We created, but y'all ingest it. If you didn't ingest it, we wouldn't make it. It's that simple. If nobody makes something for nobody to use,
so
I mean, it's literally all supply and demand. I mean, niggas ain't selling cocaine for no reason. If niggas don't like cocaine, we're not selling cocaine no more. We're going to sell what they like. I can't help what you fucking like.
I remember I was in high school and it was this dude. He was on the flamboyant side. He famous now. I ain't gonna say his name. Yeah. People in the school to tease him all the time. They had a name for him and everything. When the girls start rallying around him and pretty much like telling dudes off like, oh, you do this with him or you make fun of him, we ain't fuck with you. I tell you, it was like the next day, niggas were treating this man nice.
Because the bitches. Right. We're going to follow suit. So if you want things to change, it starts with the women. Like I always say, women going to be upset about it, but hey, it starts with y'all. If y'all want to be this important, this is what it means to be this important.
All right.
It starts with y'all.
All right, so I would argue that just because he has a good argument, right? Not to say one is better than the other. King has a good argument, all right? And I'm not conceding, this for the ladies. I'm not conceding to that argument, okay? What I'm saying is with that being a good argument, somebody is going to have to make the decision to stop perpetuating this fucking cycle. If ladies, y'all can stop ingesting this shit, and men, you can stop feeding into it. Now, what I will say is
we can't.
What I will, yeah, it's tough. What I will say is, if men pull out of perpetuating this nonsense that's a part of this culture, and other groups of men put into it,
y'all still fuck with it.
If you still participate in that, then that's gonna be on y'all. I hate to break it to you. Now, also, if we can guilt trip other cultures into stop participating in feeding this toxic culture of ours, right? And you started creating that BS for yourselves, because I am very well aware that like there's a lot of pro affirming black girl culture, and I do appreciate that, like black girl magic and a lot of these affirmations that lift black women's spirits up. I'm cool with that, but I am aware that the shit that is working and stuff like that, that's a part of the culture as well. Now, I'm not finna shame y'all for dancing and stuff like that, but you also have to understand that with your decision to be, to twerk is gonna come cultural ramifications for that, right? And it's gonna be on. Yeah, black men can't explain those things. Only y'all gonna be able to. Only y'all can explain why can explain that away. I mean, I don't know. That's gonna be something that the time is gonna create. That's gonna create a remedy for. But I personally don't have an answer for that. But I mean, hey, at the same time, black men love when they shake their ass.
No argument there.
So,
no argument.
Because the problem is that sex sells in any culture. It's not just a black culture. Sex sells in any culture. I mean,
but we were trying to condense it.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just saying, if you go to, you go over to Japan and shit, they got the same type. They deal with the same shit we do.
There are no booties in Japan. What would you lie to the
people? It's not booties. It's they booty.
What are they shaking? Back and crack.
It is. It's really a lot of back. It is a lot of back. But that's what they shaking, okay?
There's a lot of Japanese women with nice booties. Come on, man.
No, it's not.
Come on, man. God damn it, man.
Get canceled.
Get to the point. Get the point across, man.
Should be flat backing.
Get the point. The point, bro. Please get to the point.
I'm just saying. I'm just saying. This whole thing of the degeneracy of sex sales is in all cultures.
True.
You know what I'm saying? Everybody has sexy music. Everybody has ass shaking music. Down to Dominicans, Mexicans, Scottish people. Everybody got it. You know what I'm saying?
True.
Everybody has it. It's just a simple fact that ours is the most glorified. We're the poster child for it.
That's true. But the problem, and I would also add to that we also in the worst position economically.
I mean, you're right, but structure. You're right, but like I said, if you want this to stop, you got to stop the customers.
I'm done arguing. Hit the play button, bro.
Are we still going?
Yeah, it's like 2 more points.
Is the historical and persistent impact of racism on every facet of black life, including who you love and marry. In fact, especially who you love and marry. Black relationships overall are wrought with conflict, and interracial relationships have their own unique set of challenges because the experience of being black brings a vast array of baggage into the relationship. And this presents a problem to a lot of non-black would-be partners of black people, because their general lack of understanding about the black experience can lead to a lot of misunderstandings with their partner. They don't know that previous history, or even if they do know it, they don't understand it, or they don't quite know how that history still impacts the way black people move through the world today. But in general, most black people are well aware of how this history impacts them. They may not get every aspect, they may not be able to cite all the theories and authors and academics and whatnot, but they feel it internally. And
so, not knocking the feelings response too hard, but please learn as much as you can regarding systemic oppression and how the lack of reparation of the attacks heard by blacks of the day. So there's not really much to add to that. Y'all got any comments about what he just said there? He made a comment about like black people not understanding like what is going on, but they feel it internally. Again, black people, please understand and be able to cite be able to cite your feelings, right? Don't just feel things, but actually know what you're talking about and be able to point people in a direction so people can actually take our expressions a little more serious.
This knowledge is kind of diffused over how black people often perceive relationships, whether positive or negative in that perception. They're asking, is he with her because he values whiteness over everything? Is she with him for economic viability? Is he going to treat her right or exploit this power imbalance? Or do these folks just love each other and want to live their lives? In a perfect world, that last sentence will be the only one that pops into my brain when I see an interracial couple. But unfortunately, the history of racism in this country and the way that interracial relationships have often come into conflict with the black experience makes that impossible. And all of that starts with the experience of slavery.
Okay, so we're gonna bring it down to a couple, like one or two more questions at best. So I'm gonna ask you this question, and this is gonna be my last question. When you see an interracial couple, what's the thought that comes to your mind?
I'm not gonna lie to you. I don't think about nothing what he says, but I understand what he's saying. But I don't care enough to really give a fuck. You know what I'm saying? But I do understand what he's saying. But sometimes people just rip their motherfucker if they love you. But his concept, it is right. It's not even just slavery. It's just how white men move throughout this country. You know what I'm saying? They are just pure opportunists. Like what they did to the Native American people, that was pure opportunity. They strategically went out looking for certain Native Americans that they knew that had oil money, land, and certain things of that nature, and they tried to procreate with them, marry them, and have their children, then murder them. If they couldn't get the woman, they would kill the woman and adopt their children and then kill their children. You see what I'm saying? So this is where this is where this idea come from, because that's what white men did. They did whatever it took to prevail and get wealth. You see what I'm saying? They did it with no hesitation and did it with real malice. They didn't care who they got to kill, anything of that nature. So I don't think it's like that now. I think when you're a black woman and a white man actually come together, I think they just actually probably genuinely like each other. You had that one black woman that said, I'm gonna try a white man because black man ain't got this, that, and the third, and then she's gonna go be with a white man because of what he provides. But you can't say she doesn't actually love him, because she may love what he provides, but she also may actually likes him as a person and things like that. It's like very subjective. You know what I'm saying? So I don't when I see it, I don't think nothing. I'm like, hey, each his own. Be happy. I don't give a fuck. But I understand the dynamics of wealth transparency and things like that of that nature. So, but most times when you see the average couple, they're not that fucking rich. A white person with black, they're not that rich. Now we only get mad when we see the rich ones do it. We don't care about the low level ones doing it. We just get mad about the famous people that does it.
Oh shit! Damn, he right about that.
We don't care about the people that has no money.
Interracial dating is way more common than. Damn, yeah.
Pretty common.
Yeah, I should have said that.
Like, cause when you go to other states, like when I was in Florida, you don't see black people with black people. Black people with everybody but they people.
Yeah. Yeah, when I was out there in Miami.
Yeah, it's not. It's no. It's yeah. It's like that. Everybody. It's like that with everybody though. It's everybody with everybody. It's not. Nobody cares.
So what do you? So Kanji, what do you think when you see an interracial couple?
That when it's a female, they want the BBC. When it's a male, they like, hey, she got good credit.
All right.
Nah. All bullshit aside, yeah, I agree with King. I agree with King. I don't see nothing. I don't. It don't even come to mind.
I feel no hate towards you. I don't care.
So I'm asking a question. I something just popped in my head. I'm sorry. I did say that was my last question, and I'm kind of on y'all houses at this point. But there's a narrative being spun that black men hate it when they see a black woman with a white man. What do you say to those women that make those claims?
No, that's a lie.
I mean, it's black women. It's black women that hate it. They hate. I'm sorry. Black women hate. I mean, I'm sorry. Black men hate when they see black women with white men. It's the same shit. But it's like the whole thing is most times they do that when it's something they really want. Like, how did he get our prettiest one? Like, they say black dudes get the white trade the trash. We don't get the bad white women. We get, like, the bottoms of the pickers. That's why white dudes don't give a fuck. Because you're not taking our top bitches. And they come and they take our top women. And that makes, we get mad because they get our most pretty ones. You see what I'm saying? That's what makes us mad. That's all it is. It's just about you took my best bitch. That's all. I'm sorry for calling y'all bitches my best woman. I apologize. I apologize.
I don't apologize for shit. But
makes sense though.
Yeah,
I actually put it together.
I don't know that to be the reason, but that do make sense, King. Yeah. Like I can't.
I promise you, a black dude wouldn't be mad if you take an ugly one. Oh, you got the ugly one. We didn't want it anyway. It's just the fact that we wanted to and you have it, and we're mad that you have it. So we.
But do you think it's a different? Because you gotta imagine, and I don't. I'm pretty sure maybe this shit goes way back further with her racism thing. But when we were children, there were a lot of media, TV shows, movies that came out with the black woman getting with the white man. And it was even a thing at one point when on Facebook, it was like, well, don't get your Deshaun, get your John or some shit like that.
Yeah. Because
and then black women rally behind this.
Yeah, I mean, because that goes from the whole notion, because white man's supposed to have this, that, and the third, but not all white men have this, that, and the third. Yeah. That's coming from that note. They only want the ones with money. We only care about the ones with the money. We don't care about the ones that don't have the money. That's all. So, like, we get mad about the pretty ones, and black women get mad about the niggas with the money going to the white women. They don't care about a broke nigga going to fuck a white woman. You broke. We don't want you. They only care about the ones they want when they have something that's beneficial that they thought they believe they have. And most times, those black women that talk about these men with this money, you are never in a space to even be in this nigga's view, to even, to talk to him. You're not even in his space. Like when everybody's getting on LeBron James' son, Bronny, for taking the white girl to prom. He took that same white girl to prom like 3 times. Okay? And everybody said why he doesn't have a black girlfriend. Because most people in his school ain't fucking black. Yep. There's mostly probably rich white people, Asians, that, and the third. So he's going to go what's in his environment. He don't give a fuck about y'all because you mad because she made just a few dollars. He's not thinking that. He's a kid. All he sees is a pretty bitch and he like her. That's all he sees. He don't see all the other stuff that we're trying to think that we believe he sees. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. And that's what's in his environment. So now if he was in your environment, he didn't choose you, then you could probably feel some type of way to a certain extent. But he's not even in your area. You have never been in a place with this kid. You will never probably ever see him. You see what I'm saying? Okay. But you feel that you had a shot at him because you're black. No, you didn't. You had no close to, not a 1 in a million chance.
Yeah. Yeah. So for the folks, and then I'm going to close this one out. Okay. So for the folks that, unless you got something to say.
No, okay, he's a king killing.
So how do I put this? So for the black folks that are worried about their children getting with non-blacks, you have to understand that exactly as he just said it. You put your children in an environment that's predominantly white, well, that's going to be one of the consequences of your decision to move into a white neighborhood. There's a lot of other reasons, like more tangible, more groundbreaking reasons to stay within the black community, stay living in black communities. But that's a conversation for another time. What I will say is, for my answer, well, it's a little bit unique, and I'm not gonna say the whole thing right now. But my take is it's a bit on the unique side. It's like this. Black people are in a position where we need tangibles. Matter of fact, give me a second. Black people are in a position where we need tangibles. All right. When you get this book, this Powernomics book written by Dr. Clyde Anderson, you understand that there's a lot of things in this world that revolve around tangibles if you haven't figured it out already. And I'm not gonna say that black people only need to be with black people in order to gain tangibles in America. I'm not going to make that claim. What I will say is, for the point that he made about broke black people getting with broke white women, or vice versa, whatever like that. Yes, nobody really cares about that for the most part. There are some tangible things that can be taken from the black community from that, but I'm not going to argue that. What I will say is, for the black women that are choosing to be, let's say, non-productive, or not non-productive, for the black women that choose to be non-breadwinners, they want to be they want to live their feminine lives. They don't want to go to work. They don't want to make money and stuff like that. It is what it is. If there's no black man that wants to take on that financial burden, right? Then it is what it is. But for the inverse, for the black men that take on non-breadwinning wives, non-breadwinning white wives, I'm just that is going to be something that's going to cross my mind. It just is what it is. But at the end of the day, yes, you are going to love who you're going to love, and that's your God-given right. You know what I'm saying? But in my opinion, right, I do agree with Umar Johnson that there is economic takeaway for when you as the breadwinner choose a woman that's not black. All right, but overall, black people need more power couples. That's like the creme de la creme of black love.
I do got one thing now. I'm going to try to close it out.
Go ahead.
Dr. Umar Johnson made the point of when a black man dates outside his race and things happen within that relationship and how the money goes to the woman, and then she's going to propagate that money into her, whatever it is, like she white woman, what case it be. Is this the flip side when a black woman dates outside the race? Is it a flip side when black women date outside the race? Because if a black woman dates a white guy who like prominent and rich, then the money won't that be brought into the black society?
Well, white when there's a black. You talking about when a black woman is the breadwinner and she?
No, he said when a black woman attracts a white man that's a breadwinner and she marries into his family.
Of course. Yeah, that's why he tried to outlaw it. You know what I'm saying, back in the day, right? Because they didn't want that exchange of what to happen.
They want that. So, what doesn't that kind of contradicts what Dr. Umar Johnson saying about black people coming together, and then based off what we were saying earlier about respecting black women that take on the notion, like shouldn't we propagate our black women, go out there, get you a different race, bring the money back to us?
I mean, technically we should, but the problem is with that, Rob, these women of today it's not that they're uneducated, they're very ignorant with the money. They don't do what you're supposed to do with the money. They just go buy shoes, Birkin bags, and dumb shit.
I'm gonna shut the fuck up.
So that's their fault.
That is a common error of black women.
Yeah. Now if they actually did right by the money, then it'd be cool. But the problem is they ain't gonna do right by the money.
Now, if a lot of people start watching this podcast, and start reading this book, maybe they'll know better to do with that money. You feel me?
I think my book might be a little more.
Well, fuck your book. That book? Yeah. You better get. All right, hey, this has been a Chicago Black Delegation podcast. Appreciate y'all coming through. I'm probably gonna read some of these comments, but y'all good, man. Thanks y'all. Appreciate y'all coming through.
All day, man. All day.
Still on Bob, man.
Oh shit!
Let me see. What somebody said something. When a number of illegals surpass the number of legals, does it become their country, or are we all deemed illegal? Hey, what do y'all think about this, real quick? This you can quick answer. Yeah. When the number of illegals surpass the number of legals, does it become their country, and are we all deemed illegal?
I mean, we take all illegal, like you said, this land belongs to indigenous people. So
yeah, he said we all. My guy said we already illegal anyway. we are. Yeah. So it's like it's like, as far as I'm concerned, it's whoever is in control makes the rules. Yeah, it technically did belong to the Mexicans already, but
Mexicans were Aztec people.
Well, Aztec people, yeah.
That's like Spanish.
Yeah, Spanish. But literally, I posted. I gave you a video. It literally shows a Mexican dude talking about how Mexico is so racist to the darker Latinos because they say those are the true Latinos, and we don't like them because I'm guessing the